Okay, sorry about that. It's... Apologies, not quite how I expected it. But it should be working just fine. But again, if you see any problems, let me know. If you hear any problems, let me know. I appreciate y'all. And thank you very much, y'all, for coming in. Let's go play some Vampire. Yeah, yeah. Alright, here we go. Let's get started. Let's do this thing. I should have everything turned up to the point where everybody should be able to see everything. But on my end, it's really, really bright, but I know on the stream end, it's a little dark. So let me know if it gets too dark or if you have trouble reading anything. I'll be happy to help you out with it. You know. All right. Let's try to just a smidge. That real quick. All right, cool. I also did notice I got a new follower. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you greatly. Oh, I really did disconnect it. I'm so sorry. Yep, I did. I accidentally restarted everything. I'm so sorry. Okay, I apologize. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do what I did. But I did. Alright. Okay, let's get back into it then. New game, starting from scratch. Here we go. Yep, I'm sure of it. The Boston court is in turmoil. Code Red Alert has been issued, which means a major crisis has occurred. Batman, Laisha, and Caleb are summoned by the Prince. Prince's Quarters, September 4th, 2019, 11 o'clock p.m. LEG, which I'm going to presume for the moment is Laisha, MM, and Caleb. Alright. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I won't leave you guys in the dark. Aha. You see what I did there? Aha. Vampires walk among us. Unknowing, we've built their cities, fought their wars, and sated their hunger. For centuries, these creatures have been organized into rival sects, the largest of which is the Camarilla. In its domains, Camarilla courts enforce the Masquerade, a global conspiracy hiding the existence of vampires from the mortal world. Breaking the Masquerade is punishable by final death. At Boston, vampire factions have long been at each other's throats. After much conflict, Abel Iverson, the new prince, has sealed a fragile pact with a group of blood sorcerers known as the Hartford Chantry. This alliance will not only provide stability to the domain, but will hand the prince the blood trade, the trafficking of blood and mortal victims that serves the needs of the vampire elite. Tonight, the undead will celebrate.
I'll just get this going. There, ready. We're all set. Now, to begin, tell me, what do you see? try this. Focus on your vision.
No, it's happening. No, no, it's too late. It's too late now.
Well, that doesn't seem like a great start.
Did you feel it too? Take your stuff. We're getting out of here. We've got a problem.
Call them back.
What's going on?
It's the prince. We must go quickly.
Jeez, that labyrinth thing took forever. That's not so good. There. Okay.
Come on. Damn it. Hurry up. Calm down.
Maybe it has nothing to do with the party.
You know full well I was in charge of it. If anything goes wrong, it's my head on the chopping block. Fuck. Damn it! It took Hazel months to convince the Hartford Chantry to ally themselves with us. So they finally accept, and then bam, a code red. There's never been a code red in Boston, damn it! This has gotta be bad, MM.
In a dialogue, some answers require the use of your skills. Your skill level is compared with that of your opponent. The higher rating wins. You cannot use a skill if its rating is 0. Willpower. Using a skill consumes willpower, but if your opponent wins, you gain a few willpower at the end of the dialogue. Psychology, persuasion. We have a persuasion of 0, so we're not going to get to do that one. Yes, it was out to make a point early on, wasn't it? What in the name of all that is holy do you think you're doing? Thank you for the lurk. Thank you for the sound redemption. Did you hear it okay? If not, I'll fix it. Myself real quick just to be sure. What in the name of all that is holy do you think you're doing? Man. I had them working last time. Okay, good. Just making sure. Cool. Alright. He has nothing to hide. 100% chance of success.
If It's not like you had anything to do with it. I'm sure.
You don't get it. I was in charge of organizing the party.
But security is Jara's problem.
Yeah,
normally.
except Jar is a member of the Primogen. I'm not.
But you're a harpy. The prince will cover you. You know she's always looking for an excuse to take him down a notch.
We'll see.
What do we do next?
When everyone's safe, we move on to phase 2. We clean house.
Oh, let's take a look and see what each of these things means, eh? So what's a code red?
Did you say this is the first code red in Boston?
Ever since the fall of London, protocol is no longer a laughing matter.
Whatever. They've been harping on that for 4 years now. They took away our internet access. Our smartphones.
It's called risk mitigation, that's all. A code red is an alarm signal that's sent to everyone to say, watch out, we're all in danger. And everyone runs to shelter at the nearest safe house. For us, it's with the prince. It could have been worse.
I'd have preferred worse.
You're not even listening to me.
So we clean house, huh?
What do you mean by we clean house?
Getting rid of our archives, our documents, anything that might betray our network and relationships.
Doesn't sound healthy.
What comes after phase 2?
Just pray that it never comes to that.
Come on, tell me.
We run, we leave everything behind, and we go into hiding, as far from here as we can.
There's no way I'm leaving Boston. Everything I have is right here in the city. It took me years to build my clubs. I've worked too hard to give it up now.
You won't have a choice. I know you hate coming here. Are you gonna be all right?
What do you think? I know how to behave, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Just keep your cool and it'll be fine.
Also, willpower.
Ah, my little darlings. You're here at last. The fear that something horrible had happened to you terrified me.
No call for theatrics, April.
The prince asked to see you as soon as you arrived, Amim. I wouldn't dilly-dally if I were you. As for you, Journey, someone's triggered a code red. If anything has happened over there, I'll hold you personally responsible.
Dialogue. Disciplines. Vampires have supernatural abilities, usually inherited from their clan. Disciplines. Some disciplines could be used in dialogues. As with skills, the higher level wins. Not all disciplines are available to all vampires. Some mortals may possess certain powers, although most have no defense against disciplines. Hunger. Using a discipline generates hunger. Hunger has a value that cannot be exceeded. This limits a vampire's use of their powers. A vampire at their hunger limit is losing control, attacking and feeding on the closest mortal. Definitely unhealthy. Yep, can't back Journey up because I don't have any persuasion. So we'll try to flatter her. That's gonna make me really hungry too. Look at that. Oof. But hey, that's all to teach you how the game works, right?
You know, back in the day, nobody could bat an eyelash without you knowing about it. You must know exactly what Jay is being blamed for, don't you?
Imem. My dear Imem. I adore you. Really, I do. But darling, please. You're way out of your league here. This alliance with the Hartford Chantry is crucial. The prince is on edge. We can't get through to anyone over there.
What does this have to do with Jay?
She was in charge of the whole thing, for goodness sake. Listen, both of you. From now on, I don't want to hear another word out of either of you. The prince is furious. Journey, you're coming with me.
I don't see why.
And as for you, Hazel wants to see you. Right now.
Boy, talk about risky. He says don't to say anything. And what do? You say something anyway. You hit your worth. Alright.
It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Miss Lewis, welcome.
I'll bet you these doors aren't going to work. Yes. Thump. Door. All right. What do you think? Should we jump into the codex right away, or do you want to skip it? Codex listed explains many concepts from Swansong and the World of Darkness. The main characters you will meet are also listed on the Boston screen. We did get a trait. Traits. The traits are positive or negative effects that influence the abilities of the character in question. Traits are only revealed once they have been earned as the result of an action, a character's choice, or a consequence. Hunger. The hunger level, whether low or high, confers temporary traits that affect the character's abilities. Suspicion. As it rises, the suspicion rating creates more negative traits and increase the difficulty faced by characters. Well, at least we're not suspect. Unreliable agent. Your actions draw too much attention to yourself and others, or are you just inept? You won't impress any of your peers with a reputation like this. As for keeping a low profile with mortals... ... Hungry. The beast is near. Plus 10% success rate in intimidation tie. Minus 10% success rate in a psychology tie. Put in her place. MM has encountered others more powerful than her. For now. Something to strengthen her mind for future challenges. Minus 10 XP to the next experience cost for the mental attribute. Good to know. Talents. Talents increase your abilities. Each talent is tied to a specific action. Repeating these actions will progressively unlock the tiers of a talent. Looks like right now we have Discipline. Using the presence discipline increases its effectiveness. But I haven't unlocked anything yet. Puppet Master. Using the psychology skill increases its effectiveness. Rhetorician. Using the rhetoric skill increases its effectiveness. Threatening. Use the intimidate skill. Eloquent. Use the persuasion skill. Hunt. Ascetic. Complete a quest without having hunted any prey. Controlled hunt. Feed on prey without killing it. Beastly hunt. Feed on prey and kill it. Rat eater. Feed from a rat. That sounds so pleasant. So pleasant. Boston's where we're located, and then there's the codex as a whole. Alright, like I said, we could go deep diving into that anytime you want. We'll take a look and see if there's anything interesting to read. It's definitely based on 5th edition mechanics.
But Miss Iverson is occupied.
Let's keep going here.
Consider it done.
Who's she, Caleb?
MM Lewis.
She smiles like a toreador.
Letters etched in bold right upon her teeth.
What about that bearded guy who's swallowing his bum?
Dejan Siaka.
A Tremere warlock, then?
Keep him at a healthy distance. With a sideward glance, he could make the blood in your veins boil.
Is court attendance usually this sparse?
What do we think? There's usually more of us. Everyone should have been at the party, or she's talking too much. picking this one?
Under ordinary circumstances, there would be more of us here.
Is it because of the Code Red?
Could be. We should have all been at that party. But a Code Red is a Code Red. No one can leave. I'd hate to be Caius right about now.
Why?
He's second honcho of house security. This promises to be a busy night.
I know what you mean. It's one thing to have been told that the Nosferatu don't age well. It's another thing to see it for yourself.
It's by no fault of their own.
Do you think you'll be able to ask the prince tonight if you can embrace me?
No. Now is no longer the time.
And he is your child?
Mr. Beryl Underwood.
Primogen. Let's find out about them, shall we?
Tread lightly. He's a member of the Primogen.
They're the check to the prince's power.
The check and balance. They backed Hazel when she rose to power after Quentin King. They'd hoped to control her.
What? Things didn't go as planned?
I just have a feeling she will surprise them. Never forget that the court is a chessboard. We are monsters, and we sacrifice pawns. If you want to be a major piece, then behave accordingly.
But
Nothing can happen to you here. We're in the prince's house. She must be finished by now. Wait for me. This won't take long.
It's out of the question, MM! I won't let her get away with this!
All right. Calm down, Dijon.
Where's Journey?
What's it to you?
Don't start with me. She was in charge of the party. She has to take responsibility for this.
Leave her out of it.
It's too late for that. Don't waste your time covering for her. She's not a kid anymore. I haven't heard from my child, and no one's able to get through to them over there.
Go on then. Go and save Imani and stop wasting your breath.
There are rules. Need I remind you? We're all stuck here.
You're such a good boy.
You'll never change.
Dijon!
What? Oh, come on, Hilda, she needs to grow up.
leave us.
He's a little on the angry side, isn't he?
I don't need your help.
Mem, please.
Stop calling me that.
I was worried about you.
You still haven't moved on, have you? You're always getting in my way.
Lower your voice. People are staring.
Focus. Focus allows you to temporarily increase a skill by 1 or 2 levels. The more you increase your focus, the more willpower cost decreases. To be focused, a skill must have a minimum score of 1 point. Disciplines or knowledge cannot be focused. Ooh, 1 versus 2. 0 versus 3, so I can't do that. It's gotta be this one. If a skill or discipline levels are the same, but the outcome of the conflict is uncertain, the chance of victory could be influenced by a number of bonuses or penalties, as well as spending experience points. Well, let's try tying, see what happens. Mostly because I don't really want to lose a whole lot of willpower. Does she know anything about the code red? Opponent focus. Oh, she beat me on focusing. Let's check my chance of success. Zip. It's a little harder. Your opponents can also focus their own skills. Unlike you, focus only allows them to increase their skill by 1. Risk of opponent focus is represented by a percentage. The more aggressive you are, skill focus, use of disciplines, the more the risk of the opponent focus increases.
Do you know what this code red is all about? You're in the Primogen. You must know something.
I'm in the same boat as the rest of you. Apparently, it was from one of Moore's retainers. That's all I know.
Who's that?
Jason Moore. Don't you remember him? He's the human who manages our interests when the sun comes up. He handles our assets, errands with the banks.
What does he have to do with this?
I don't know. It now seems that Miss Hazel Iverson, the mighty Prince of Boston, is no longer on speaking terms with the Primogen. As if now were the ideal time.
She asked to see me. Do you know why?
My best guess is that she'd like to talk to you about Journey, of course. I always warned you that girl was trouble.
Yeah, sure. I've gotta go. Hazel must be upstairs. I'd better hurry.
So sorry. It's been a bit of a day. Bit of a week. Okay, so we've met a couple
What
new
about
people.
Jara? I haven't seen her.
Councillor Drury is not here, nor is Dr. Dunham. Mr. Leto's teams are trying to reach them, but...
Nobody's answering?
I got my
They've
fingers
all
in
got
the right
such long
place.
faces.
Perhaps.
Hey, Abby.
Hey, MM.
Abigail Nerney.
Abby, do you know what's going on?
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Please? I feel like I've been plopped down in the middle of a minefield.
There are rumors about Journey. Rumors about how this is all her fault.
Did you know that Jay was in charge of the party?
Shit. I bet she's gonna take the fall for whatever happened.
I don't think she's involved, but we've got to be on our guard.
Wonderbar. Beryl Underwood.
Ma'am, we haven't seen you here in ages now, have we?
What is with her and like wanting to like mess with everybody that could, you know, be in charge? God, authority problems much.
Let's holster our weapons. I'm only here because of that goddamn code red.
Blunt and to the point, as usual. With a bit of luck, your suffering will be over soon. How's business these days?
Why? You want to invest?
Don't tempt me.
Don't tempt me. Oh, cripes. There's no chance of my beating him on that one. I have no willpower left. Let's try to get up to a tie wouldn't even be worth it. You know, if it wasn't for the interesting moments in our lives, we would all be terribly, terribly bored. Tell me you heard it. Excellent.
I'm shocked to think you put so much as a penny into one of my clubs. They don't bring in enough for your taste, Beryl.
You're right. I'm not interested in them. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to be alone. I'm waiting for Caleb.
This is just turning that into one of those more interesting types of situations, isn't it? That's where we came in from. That's for jumping up in the elevator. Is it too loud? I could turn the volume down on it if it's too loud. That's a little bit, should be a little bit better. I'll turn the volume down a bit if it's too loud. Let's see if next time it's better. Then I'd have to buy another one, of course, to see if it's better.
What a shitty night. Hazel must be pissed. What the hell could she want with me?
No, I just could have adjusted the volume on my own, but you'll have to show me how to do that later. This looks Aisha, the unstable seer.
Is everything okay, Mom? Penny for your thoughts?
Nothing, Pumpkin.
Okay.
What were you
Not
saying?
any better?
You saw pictures again? You're not going back to the Institute, are you?
No, don't fret. I'm gonna stay here with you now.
I don't like it when Richard takes you away.
He's my psychiatrist. He's helping me so I can be with you. Mom has a little trouble sometimes, remember? I see things that haven't happened yet. And I forget others.
Yes, I know. And you
Well,
have to
adjustment commands
so you
should
can
be
rest
live if you
all
want to try
alone
them.
sometimes. But 3 years was too long.
We missed her so much, or we won't be separated again. I understand the relationship. It's probably we missed her too much. I don't know. What do you think? Oh, this is the first time we've seen Leisha at all, so... It's a coin toss. Yeah, what the heck.
But now we'll be together forever. We'll be inseparable.
Like 2 peas in a pod.
Yes, exactly.
Mom? What's going on? Why does everybody look so upset?
I think something serious is happening. I'm worried. I still haven't seen Richard. I looked for him so he could explain, but he can't be found.
So, what do we do now?
I was told to wait here because Hazel wants to see us. There are grown-ups coming, and your mother needs to talk to them.
Oh, then I'll go hide, because grown-ups talk to me too much.
If you want, sweetie. But don't wander off. Go on. Show me what you do to make sure no one spots you.
Okay, here I go.
Leftovers from last night, or something else? Because I'm definitely gonna starting to get a little hungry myself.
Leisha. It's been a while.
Hey, MM.
When did you get out?
Just tonight. Hazel wanted to see me.
That means she's extremely worried about the situation.
That or she's a major drama queen.
Oh, please. Caleb, I know for a fact, is a Ventrue. He's a blue blood. He's a bud. Blue blood, Ventrue, which means that he's very much into leading and ruling. Brats. Ooh. I've been in the mood for barbecue all day. Maybe I'll get some later. So, either MM doesn't realize how serious things are, which if you saw the very beginning, MM's like, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is that somebody has potentially slipped and the masquerade may have been broken. And as a result, everyone is in danger. MM's kind of like, eh? But I suspect he's more about the respect thing. I just think it's a little bit closer to she doesn't understand. I'm with you on that.
You shouldn't make light of the situation. Believe me, there aren't many of us who have experienced a Code Red and survived.
Thanks for the heads up, Professor Bazori. First Siaka, now you. Why won't anybody give me a break tonight?
Maybe you asked for it.
Or maybe if you behaved in a manner more appropriate to the circumstances and our setting, then you'd better understand why everyone is so nervous.
Oh. I'm getting a kick out of Leisha, I'll tell you that now. MM is a Toreador, which is usually when I'm playing Vampire. Toreadors are usually the clan I play. But let's not go lecturing people. I mean, seriously, just gotta see. At which point is you gotta stop telling people to leave her the heck alone? I mean, God almighty.
Siaka jumped down my throat. Was I supposed to let him take his nerves out on me? No, I'm sorry. That's not how things work, Bazori.
We must all remain calm and accept any help we can get, even from the most unusual sources.
That's surprising to hear, coming from a blue blood. At least certainties come from a more solid source than a prophecy from a child of Malkov.
You don't know what you're talking about.
All I'm saying is that whatever the problem is, your hallucinations aren't gonna help us solve it.
I'm pretty sure that Leisha could give zero fucks. Or at least she should. That's my opinion. Malkavians, whichever pronunciation you want to use. You know, if a Malkavian, crazy or as insane as they might be, I'd probably still take them for the word.
And yet, many of the things I saw ended up happening. Quentin King's disappearance, Hazel's rise to power, your breakup with Hilda too. But you're probably right. It's just Hazel and her flair for the dramatic.
Only time will tell.
Good evening, ladies, sir. The prince shall see you now.
Albright. M.M. Lewis, rebellious star. The diva who lights up Boston's nights, but bringing light into a world of darkness could be perilous. M.M. knows this, but doesn't care. Choose a profile. Profile that focuses, investigator. A profile that focuses on knowledge that's caused allowed to go undercover, extort, or steal information. Jack of all trades, improving attributes and a large selection of skills that allows for the maximum number of interactions, but less mastery. Oh, that mask, oh god. It's actually kind of neat, but also really kind of creepy. If you want my honest opinion. Veteran. A profile that focuses on dialogue and the physical attribute allows you to use the character's aura in conversations, which I think makes the most sense for MM. Personally. But, maximum number of interactions with less mastery. Because I can tell you right now that the investigator for her, terrible idea. Awful idea. And the same for Leisha. Veteran, jack of all trades, or spend points my own way, but I don't know. Free basically means that it doesn't put the points in for you. You put them in yourself. But if you know the game well enough, you can do it. But if it's like your first playthrough, it doesn't recommend doing it. Free is what you want to do when you're playing through the second time and you actually know how the system works and you got a better idea of how the skill interactions work. I tried Investigator. Leisha and MM, they both very poorly. It was a poor fit. But even though it's literally what you're going to be doing is for a lot of the game is investigating, yeah, let's try the veteran. Because it's all on dialogue, and she is a Toreador. What do they like to do? Show off and talk. Yeah. At the start of each scene, previously earned experience points can be spent to improve the character's abilities. These abilities are divided into areas: the character sheet, the discipline sheet. Each attribute affects a specific list of skills and disciplines. Attributes increase the chance of victory in a tie, but proving them also decreases the willpower cost of a focus. Knowledge. The use of knowledge skills do not have a willpower cost and cannot be improved by using focus. I have 5 points to spend, which means I can actually work on maybe improving some of these. Cost of 10, cost of 10, cost of 30. Cost of 10, 30, 10, 60, 10, 35, 35. Well, I guess it wants me to put the point into mental, because what else am I going to spend it on? Oh, but I could always come back to that here to look at the discipline table. Jiminy. The discipline sheet contains disciplines that the character possesses. Discipline powers. Experience points invested in discipline increase the level and can provide additional powers. Discipline powers can be passive and may be used in a dialogue or in exploration. Celerity. Blink. Activate Celerity Vision, has no cost. Reveals anchor points in the environment that MM can reach using Blink. Blink allows you to move instantly from one anchor point to another and generates 3 hunger. Lovely. Like she isn't hungry enough. Fleetness. In certain situations, allows you to slow down the environment around the character while using Celerity Vision. There is no cost. Celerity interactions like Pickpocket are available in this state. The hunger cost depends on your celerity rating and the difficulty of the interaction. 90 points for the next one. Woohoo. Presence. Gives access to presence dialogue choices. 45 points for a 2. Wowzers. Auspex. Activates Auspex Vision, has no cost, reveals interactions related to 5 senses. Hunger cost depends on your Auspex rating and the difficulty of the interaction. Well, none of our XP here is going to buy anything, so let's go buy that mental point, because it's literally the only thing we can afford. That's quite the tattoo.
Hazel. Delson.
Come in, MM.
These looking a little intense.
I wanted to have a word with you.
What can I do for you?
I'm glad you're here. It's been a long time since we last saw each other. Tell me, where were you tonight?
Like everybody else, I suppose. At home, getting ready for the party.
How fortunate you weren't running early.
Why? What's happened?
You know what the Code Red means. There was a breach. This is intolerable. These agreements were supposed to celebrate the power of my court. Instead, I've been made to look a fool in the eyes of my allies. We'll have to increase our diplomatic efforts with the Warlocks. Send new emissaries to Osborne.
What's that got to do with me?
Don't you worry about that for now. We have more urgent matters to attend to.
We?
Bring Journey to me.
MM, gosh, why in the world do you feel like picking a fight with people that are just... Oh, gosh, I don't know. She acts like a youngster, but she's not. Neither of these are smart choices for talking to a prince, but...
What do you want with her?
I have a few questions I need to ask her. If mistakes were made, I need to know what happened. I'm sure that your friend will have a lot to tell me.
She hasn't done anything. Hazel.
I'll be the judge of that.
God. Yes, MM.
Yes, my prince. I'll be right back.
I didn't bring you here just for that. I have something to offer you.
I'm listening.
It's about the Primogen Council. You know everyone who's in it. Beryl, Richard, Hilda. Their support was much appreciated after the disappearance of the previous prince.
Quentin King.
But now, they've become an obstacle. It's been going on for months. They systematically oppose everything that I do. It must stop now.
Can't do education because I didn't spend it. Well, there just wasn't any points on it, which is weird. We're just gonna keep our mouth shut.
The Camarilla has faced many challenges in the past few years. Many of our strongholds have fallen. I won't let Boston suffer the same fate, but for that, I need loyal allies. Also, how would you like a spot in the Primogen?
What?
You've always taken care of your community, without ever asking for anything in return. It might be time you took a leading role in the community's affairs.
Hilda won't let you do it. She'll never see me as her equal. Being seated next to her child? She'll feel humiliated.
I'm her prince. She will obey me.
She's not gonna like it.
I don't care. What I'm offering is much bigger than all that. What do you think?
Let's not be stupid. I swear, all of these dialogue choices with MM just seem like geared to get her into the most trouble possible. Let's just do the smarter one. Let's think about this, shall we? Man, don't be stupid.
I don't know. I need to think about it.
Time is of the essence. You're a businesswoman, I know you'll be up to it, but we'll talk about it again soon. In the meantime...
I know. Jay, I'm going to go see Sylvia first. I need to clear my head.
Do it. You won't be able to hunt tonight. It's better to be prepared. Bring me Journey.
I will.
I have the utmost confidence in you, Do not fail me.
You can count on me.
Generally speaking, when the prince basically says, I want you to be in my Primogen Council, that's usually a cause for celebration. Unless you and the prince are on bad terms, in which case it's cause for an absolute alarm and concern. But when a prince offers you a position of power in politics, it's usually not smart to turn it down outright. Whether you like the court or not is immaterial.
I'm happy to see you in one piece.
Hey, Syl. I'd like some refreshment, please.
Of course. I'll get you a glass.
I was thinking more like a vessel.
Oh, serve yourself. But try not to damage them, okay? They're all I've got left in stock.
I get it. I'll be careful.
I'm right here if you need anything else.
The hunt. Safe zone. A safe zone is a place where no one can see you feed. You can find them by exploring the surroundings. Only one prey may be sent to a safe zone at a time.
No news from anyone.
Do you think they're...
Now's not the time to be thinking about that. We're not the only ones freaking out. Look around. Exactly. We've got to keep our wits about us. Got it?
So I found one safe zone. Prey will naturally be revealed as you approach them. To feed, you'll need to find a safe zone you can lure your prey to. Go after isolated prey. If it is surrounded by potential witnesses, sending the prey to the safe zone will increase suspicion of you. The second one, just in case. Oof. By themselves. Got this one, that one. Doesn't really matter too much, just want to make sure that they're relatively easy to get a hold of. Closed.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I guess they're off. I'll do.
Do
you need me?
Come on. It won't take long.
Yes.
Yes. A little on the hypnotic side. Ooh, okay. All right. Vampires use their powers to charm or subdue their prey and satisfy their hunger. When feeding on prey, you can control the amount of blood that you take. Press and hold the button to increase the amount of hunger eliminated. If you do not press the button, or if you don't release it before the bar is full, the prey will die, drained of its blood. Killing prey will increase suspicion. Mortals will be on their guard, while vampires will question your respect for the Masquerade. That's the heartbeat. Guessing we don't want to go too far, but let's be cautious. Oh, it's a sensitive control. Oh my god, don't go. Ooh, sanguine resonance bonus for disciplines. Some prey, their blood emotionally charged, have a resonance that your character will earn after feeding. At the end of a scene, a resonance provides an experience bonus for the corresponding discipline. If more than one resonance is acquired during a scene, only the last acquired is saved. Second bite. If your prey survives, you may feed on it a second time. However, this will cause it to die, and it will increase suspicion. Well, she didn't die, but I think I may have overdone it, because, woo, I almost got to the end. That was bad. That control is super sensitive. I'm going to be a lot more careful in the future. Holy smokes.
April's gonna kill us.
Hey, but her hunger's satisfied. It's a damn well better be.
Divine.
All right, Jay.
At the base
Where
of the
are you
mountain.
hiding?
Then there are the palaces, the mosaics, the
know that
gardens,
voice.
and the vibrant youth population.
It must have been busy with the police and all.
They make a lot of noise, but life always finds a way. At night, mostly. At
This would
clandestine
be
parties,
Victoria
safe from their
Ash, by the
batons.
way.
Those young people just want to have...
Victoria!
My little rose.
It's been so long.
An eternity, you mean. And yet, look at you. As splendid as always.
I've learned from the best.
Adorable. How are you? This is a rather depressing night for a reunion.
Why, are you so innately suspicious? I mean, that's... So, but just to kind of give you an idea here. Victoria Ash, Toreador, embraced in 1650, 8th generation, compared to, I believe, MM's 12. Sire Maximilian, child Regina Blake. The paramour. Victoria's existence was not always one of gilded lavishness. Born in the south of France in the 17th century, Victoria, then known by the name Victorine de Perpignan, was a camp prostitute for the French army. Far from lacking in ambition, her undeniable charm and wit won her the favors of Prince Louis II, who made her his mistress. The prince, however, was not alone in noticing the young woman's potential. A kindred and procurer by the name of Maximilian offered to make her his ghoul in order to preserve her priceless beauty. Victoria accepted and was offered the embrace in 1650. From one world to another, sire and child arrived in England in 1660, but their stay was short-lived, as Maximilian was destroyed by his rival shortly thereafter. Victoria escaped the ambush in the nick of time and fled England aboard a boat bound for the New World. She was one of the first kindred to set foot on American soil and spent the next 3 centuries roaming its vast expanses and urban wilds. She returned to England in the late 1890s, where she embraced her first child, Regina. Her appearance in a number of bourgeois salons at the time led her to meet Hilda McAndrews, a young kindred and renowned painter whose convictions and talents she admired. Victoria met Hilda's child, MM, a few years later during an opulent soiree held to celebrate MM's embrace. Victoria was overcome with sympathy for the young woman, as her sunny disposition reminded her of the passion of her youth. The harder they fall. A woman of passion and a Toreador above all, Ash expanded her influence in the 1990s by establishing herself as one of the greatest pop stars of her time. Her songs lit up the American billboards, and the masses came in droves to attend her concerts. Yet, parallel with her affairs among mortals, Victoria opened a path for herself to the throne of Atlanta, which she claimed. The city grew and flourished under her reign. Ash was forced to leave the city in 1999 and returned to London, which she fled in 2008 after the purge of the Second Inquisition. A sense of duty. The resurgence of a Second Inquisition cast a veil of doubt and unease over the world of the night. While many kindred chose to reject technology in the hopes of going undetected by their hunters, Victoria welcomed it. Ash went on many trips and made social appearances, resisting the beckoning, as elders disappeared one by one, leaving behind an extremely fragile Camarilla. In order to fend off this loss of power, Victoria was chosen to seal an alliance between the Ivory Tower and the Ashira, another vampire sect. She wed Tigurius, one of their leaders, in Tehran in 2018. Victoria's been back in America for several months now. Back upon her throne in Atlanta, she intends to use her talents to restore her city to glory if it deserves. In the meantime, here she now is in Boston, drawn by Hazel Iverson and her ambitious projects. So, yes, they definitely know each other. She's the prince of another city, and she's 4 generations ahead of MM. It would be stupid to make this woman mad at you. And MM knows this. And yet... Oh, look at this. Rhetoric, intimidation, persuasion, psychology, presence, dominate. Yes, I would say getting on her bad side is such a bad plan. Bad. Very bad. Turn the question around? Oof. If anything, I'd be happy to admit that I'm worried. After all, in a lot of ways, she's acting like grandsire.
This atmosphere is starting to weigh on me.
We haven't had any news, but everyone is expecting the worst. What a strangely human attitude.
I understand them. Some are waiting for their children, others for their sires.
Are you waiting for someone too?
No. That explains why I'm less stressed out than everyone else.
I hear business is going well for you. Your Black Rattlers are making quite the splash. You can be proud of everything you've accomplished, darling. Your name is on everyone's lips.
Thanks. That means a lot coming from you. I'm really happy to see you again. I wish I had more time to talk.
Is there something stopping you?
You could say that. One of my acquaintances is in hot water with Miss Iverson. I need to help her.
I'm going to give you a piece of advice then. Don't waste your energy helping others. Let others handle their own problems. Their mistakes aren't your business.
What do we say to somebody who's about, 300 years older than you? To that kind of a situation? Bearing in mind, of course, both of them are Toreadors, so both of them understand passion, and the need for beauty, and the need for, attract people around them. Yeah.
Journey is someone I can trust. I can't let her down now.
Is Journey a prince?
No.
Then her opinion doesn't matter.
It
the
is
only
interesting
individuals
advice.
who should matter to you are royalty. The rest, they're just for decoration.
Thanks for the advice, Victoria. You helped put things into perspective.
Oh my god, she actually
It's
said something
only
respectful.
natural. I'll always be here for you, darling, and I hope the feeling is mutual.
Damn well better be.
Wonderful. I'm relieved to see that despite the travails of time and distance, our friendship is still intact.
What are you doing in town anyways? The last time I heard about Victoria Ash, she'd just gotten back to Atlanta.
You know I never stay in one place for long. But to answer your question, I came to do business.
For the agreement, I'm guessing.
You guessed right. I'd hoped to meet up with one of my associates tonight, a warlock I'd sent to Hartford. Unfortunately, he still hasn't made his appearance.
He might still come. The night's not over yet.
Oh, you're refreshingly naive. We'll see.
Wow. Holy smokes. That is a lot of options. But we know we're going to do that rhetoric, for sure. And we know we're going to focus it to at least a tie, if not better. But we're going to save that for last. Ooh, that's going to burn a lot of power, though.
You knew Boston when it was a Malkavian city. What do you think about the court now?
Iverson has successfully made her mark. It can't have been easy, with Quentin's grip on the city.
Boston was on the brink of chaos when Hazel took over. I don't always agree with her methods, but she gets the job done.
She knows what she wants. I respect that. Our family needs more leaders like her. That would be a welcome change from our usual weather vanes.
I imagine you've met our prince?
Of course. I went to see her as soon as I got to town. I must say, I was surprised that Quentin King was no longer on the throne.
Do you miss him?
Not in the slightest. Quentin had his charm, but he was too unstable. Iverson, on the other hand, she seems powerful, refined.
A true blue blood.
Absolutely. Nobody's perfect.
Oh, spoken like a true Toreador. Oh my gosh.
I've heard rumors about you. Something about a wedding?
Oh yes, my wedding to Tigurius. It was fabulous. We had a spectacular celebration.
Oh. Huh. This looks like it's a dangerous road, regardless of which direction we want to go in. But, you know, it's a marriage between kindred. And she's from, you know, the 1600s. It seems very unlikely that it would be a love match, so congratulations may not necessarily be in order. I don't know. Yeah, we can still congratulate her all the same.
I think congratulations are in order.
Oh, do you? It's a political marriage. Nothing more. Our family needed it.
You did it for the cam?
You seem surprised to hear it. You may not have noticed, but the Camarilla has lost some of its luster since the Ancili left. Our survival depends on our ability to make compromises.
I imagine you received the alert as well.
Yes, I was with your prince when the message was sent.
Do you have any idea who triggered it?
Alas, I have no idea. Iverson didn't care to share that with me. She knows how to control information.
I'm not even sure she knows herself.
She's going to need answers. I doubt her subjects will wait much longer.
Oof, indeed. Well, let's see if I can pull off at least a tie. Gonna burn a boatload of willpower to do it, though. But if I fail, I'll at least get some of it back. 'Cause, you know, 1600s. It's a 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 1600 A tie gives me a 41% chance of success, but a 10% chance of her focusing against me. But if I bump it up to a 95% chance of success, she could still potentially focus and tie, which cuts my success back to the 40s. But I think I'd rather do that only because it would be nice to win one of these. Why not? Oh, yes!
What did you hope your emissary would do? Double-cross Iverson?
God.
Oh, please, MM. I'm just curious, that's all.
Diplomats are rarely sent out without good reason. If you sent someone, then there was something in it for you.
Fine, guilty as charged. I'm very interested in your prince's project. I'd like to transpose it to Atlanta. I contacted the Warlocks to try and learn more. I was actually surprised that Deneb agreed to cooperate with Kindred outside his chantry.
Deneb?
Hartford's regent. I understood that he was the one Hazel was in negotiations with.
Are they really that wary of outsiders?
Warlocks are naturally suspicious of other families, but Osborne? He's unique. Paranoid, eccentric, and highly intelligent. The type of man you can't manipulate.
You seem to know him pretty well.
Well enough to know not to trust him.
I'm sorry, but I've gotta go.
I understand. Duty calls, but before you leave, I have a favor to ask you. I mentioned my emissary earlier. If you hear anything about him, please let me know when you get back, would you?
I thought I was only supposed to focus on my prince. Have you had a change of heart?
Huh. You're using my own words against me? It's a big favor. I'm aware of that. But I'm a loyal friend, and powerful too. If you can do this for me, I'll owe you one.
Fine. I'll let you know if I learn anything.
Thanks, MM. I hope I'll see you again soon, darling. If you need anything, I'll be right here.
Thanks, Victoria. See you later.
Wow. Then I got a point of willpower back. Yay. Jiminy Christmas, though. What is up with this woman? Although I do like the the VO for Victoria Ash. It's great. I love it. I also like the fact that her hair is like standing up on end.
I know that perfume. Jay. That's Jay's scarf.
Auspex time. Auspex enhances your 5 senses. This condition reveals new interactions, detecting sense, listening to conversations from a distance, revealing the past of objects, or even experiencing premonitions. You can also discover items that have been hidden by using supernatural powers. Ooh, let's make herself hungry.
April's gonna kill us.
Sit down.
Shit.
Lost a little too much blood, huh?
Where did you go, Jay?
Somewhere I can't follow that way, but there's another trail to follow. Which is kind of neat, actually. Clearly came up to the bar. Looks like we have another potential conversation. Walking train wreck. You know, here's the thing. It's like, if you read up about MM, Date of Embrace, 1929, Generation 12. Sire killed the McAndrews. For someone who's been around that long, you know, almost a century, you would think she wouldn't be stupid enough to poke the bears. You'd think. Man of Bronze, born in Harlem in 1901. MM grew up in a family of poor African-American performers. Her father, Mason, was a musician by night and window washer by day. Her mother, Clara, sang when she was not taking care of her 4 children. When he was drafted in 1917, MM's father enlisted in the 15th Regiment of the New York National Guard, the Harlem Hellfighters, and participated in the liberation of France. He joined a jazz band in his unit that became a phenomenal success after the war ended. Pathé Studios had them record an album that would become the first jazz record to be played non-stop on French phonographs. Following this success, Mason decided to bring his family to Paris and to make a living playing his music in the jazz clubs that were beginning to sprout up throughout the capital. Paris. MM was 17 years old and was a dancer. She spent time with the elite who had come to listen to her father, and it took little time for her to get noticed. She discovered the I'm going to mispronounce that. Folie Bergère at their international shows. She auditioned for it and passed with flying colors. From odd jobs backstage to subbing in other performers, she proved herself and became a headline act at just 21 years old. Her burlesque stripping act took Paris by storm, making her extremely popular. MM began traveling through Europe, dancing to packed houses in the hottest cabarets. MM was young, beautiful, and radiant. Her life was the night as the champagne and money flowed. She was determined and alluring, the embodiment of a free and independent woman of the early 20th century. She had a fiery temperament that soon attracted the attention of Europe's divas. To die in your arms. December 1923, MM performed 8 times at the Vienna Carl Theater. On the first night, she was introduced to Hilda McAndrews by the theater director outside her dressing room. MM was immediately captivated by this mysterious aristocrat who attended each of her performances. They spent the nights that followed in bars, exchanging stories about their lives and their art, their passions, and their struggles. Hilda was cultured, charismatic, and politically engaged in the suffragette movement and the women's artistic community. MM, to her surprise, fell under her spell and gave in to this irresistible attraction. A passionate relationship formed right away between the two women, who became inseparable. Hilda confided in MM and told her about her vampiric nature over the course of the next 3 years. For their love to endure, but also seduced by the promise of eternal youth, MM asked to be sired right away. It would take yet another 3 years, however, before Hilda managed to get the local prince to agree to it. The prince feared the young woman's notoriety could be a danger to the masquerade. With the prince's blessing at last, Hilda threw a spectacular celebration in honor of her companion, whom she said would embrace at the end of that memorable evening. The sound of boots. Having lived in Vienna since her meeting with the Carl Theater, Hilda and MM left Austria in 1934 for Paris, then Bordeaux. Alas, France's surrender in 1940 forced the couple to reconsider their plans. With the help of her contacts in London, Hilda managed to negotiate a crossing to Boston, her hometown. Though hesitant at first, the city's Wacławian Prince, Quentin King, finally granted them asylum. MM and Hilda were introduced to the court, where 50 years of intrigue would bring their passion to its inevitable end. Queen of the Night. Following her breakup with Hilda, MM moved to a suburban Boston neighborhood far away from King, political schemes, and her sire. The area, however, with its infamous reputation due to the large population of thin bloods and anarch sympathizers, did not make for a wise investment. But MM refused to give up. She renovated a small theater and transformed it into a club that she named the Black Rattlers, in homage to her father's battalion. Then she returned to the stage and progressively regained her visibility and reputation. She met kindred from all walks of life and against all odds managed to bring renewal to the neighborhood, which the Bostonian youth began to frequent. The Black Rattlers grew more prominent and became one of the city's leading clubs, where anyone was welcome regardless of their clan, faction, or origin. For 10 years, MM had managed to create a zone of peace, where vampires from the Camarilla and the Thin Bloods could sit together and listen to the finest jazz. It was here that she met Hazel Iverson. Charmed by the Ventrue's temperament and ideas, MM sympathized with Iverson, who claimed the throne of Boston in 2014. Although the departure of Quentin King and his hordes of minions delighted MM, she still obstinately refused to return to the court. The only thing that mattered to her were the clubs. She had 3 now. Clubs of the growing social and political power that Hazel had not forgotten. Oh boy. Oh dear. Oh, man. You might not like the court, but you can't screw with it that hard.
I'm sorry about before. I'm just a little edgy tonight.
I know. This isn't the first time we've gotten in a fight over nothing. Your child, Imani. She was there. Still no news?
No. Radio silence.
And Hazel refuses to talk to me.
I spent months kowtowing to those Hartford assholes for this agreement. If she has the info, now's not the time to hold it back.
These Hartford guys. How well do you know them?
Well enough. I won't let things end like that.
You told me you knew the Hartford Warlocks well.
Yeah, some of them.
I was in touch with their representative, Deneb. He was supposed to replace me on the council.
You're leaving us?
Not really. It's part of the agreement with the Chantry. Deneb and I were supposed to switch places.
Why was Hazel doing business with them?
She had plans for the blood market in the region. We were meant to be in charge of supplying high-quality blood. They were supposed to take care of stabilizing it, or try at least.
That's nuts. Has anyone ever tried it before?
Never. That's why I'm worried. I don't give a shit about Hartford, but this project is really important.
I understand.
Any news?
I'm looking for Journey. Have you seen her?
No, I'm sorry. I assume you've already tried her office?
Guess that's going to be another stop.
Well, I'll leave you to it. I've got to find Jay.
If I see Journey, I'll tell her you're looking for her.
Alrighty then.
Underwood and Fang. Bazor's ears must be burning.
I didn't think I'd see you again so soon. Did you want something, perhaps?
You haven't seen Journey, have you?
She's not here. It would be a shame if you've showed up too late.
Just a tie would cost me all my willpower. I need to do that. And you don't try to intimidate somebody like that. We're just gonna outright fail on all of those. It's a way to get some willpower back. Couldn't hurt to get a little willpower back, and maybe I'll get something out of it.
If you know something,
Oh,
just
that
tell
cost
me.
me willpower? Didn't get something back?
Teasing you. I haven't the slightest idea what has you in such sorts. It was just a joke.
Very funny. I don't have time for this. I'm out of here.
Yep, that's Trainwreck, and that was a bad plan. Apparently get willpower back for succeeding, not for failing. Dear all, please don't forget that if you have issues with the archives, you can contact Lazarus. Not me. Thank you, April. I need to get some will back.
Hey, Fang.
Good evening, Miss Lewis.
Call me a ma'am, please. Did you come with Caleb?
Yes, but he's so very busy.
You didn't happen to see Journey, did you?
I'm sorry. I don't know everyone's names yet.
Fair. That looks like it could be interesting.
Keltum and Lazarus. I smell gossip.
This can't be happening.
I swear, she was standing there, playing me for a sucker, pretending she just happened to be in the archives.
And what did you say to her?
I played dumb. I said, "As you like, Miss Abigail Naomi," and I left.
What did she take?
A page from a file about an old party that she tore out.
But why would she need that? Why now?
I wonder.
Interesting.
hope you didn't forget anything, Jay.
Checklist. Venue reservation. Okay. Venue setup. Okay. Invitation sent. Okay. Red Salon vessel C with Dr. Dunham. Okay. Servant security. Okay. 2 more are needed. Food for vessels and servants. Check with Abby. Check the level of secrecy with Jara. Okay. Saying what the problem here is. Clearly there was. Consumable collected. Club business cards. Guest list. Unification party. 9/4/5/19. September 4th and 5th. Boston Court. Miss Iverson. Mr. Coates. Mr. Underwood. Miss Rory. Miss McAndrews. Mr. Dunham. Mr. Siaka. Mr. Lido. Mr. Bizori. Miss Sellers. Miss Lewis. Miss Bosley. Miss Izanami. Miss Atiba. Mr. Villanueva. Miss Metcalf. Miss Chin. Mr. Gravdahl. Mr. Penicucci. Miss Strigus daughter. Hartford Chantry. Mr. Osborne. Miss Wakefield. Mr. Samuels. Mr. Fleming. Miss Vance. Mr. Woods. Mr. Green. Mr. Chen. Miss Halstead. Accompanying guests. Miss Natalie Drummond, Mr. Jason Moore, Mr. Edouard Berthollet, Mr. Elian Viam, Miss Karen Hill, Mr. Bo Hoagland, Mr. Ruben Sexton, Miss Jennifer Dupre, Miss Barbara Carr, Miss Annie Pruitt, Mr. Benjamin Sager, Mr. Kevin Paul, Mr. Donald Bryan. Vessels for consumption, ask Dr. Dunham for those new vessels from Red Salon. Staff, Miss April Bosley, Miss Abigail Nurmi, Mr. Lazarus Sheridan, Miss Journey Atkins, Miss Keltum Hamden, Mr. Frank James, Mr. Tien Wu, Miss Emily Cottrell. Great. A list that means very little about me, except it did bring up the Red Salon. Grunge not dead. Interesting. That seems remarkably appropriate.
Is it Kala Saw? Jay always got along well with her sire. Lucky bitch.
Well, I seem to have more talents now. Rhetorician 2. 2 more and I'll get a plus 10% success for a tie. Point and Eloquent. Puppet Master. Point and Charmer. Point and Controlled Hunt. Well, I will be very careful. Still just the one trait. That's fine. Hunger's down at the moment. Suspicion, eh. Could be better. Alright, what's next? Looks like it's gonna be the compy. Nothing else on your desk looks openable. Compy time! Can't recover the search history, not high enough technology score. But we can still check it out. From Jara to me, September 4th, 2019, subject maintaining order. I asked our retainers to arrive before sunset for more discretion. From Jara to me, August 21st, 2019. Forward need confirmation. I'm still waiting for that paper.
Her last message to Abigail.
From me to Abigail, September 5th, 2019, subject archive file. I need you to track down the file on the 1998 Solstice Party. Page 3 should be of interest to you. Welcome back.
The file. I wonder where they put it. That could be of interest to me.
Find the Solstice 1998 file. Oh, he's busy chatting in there.
I'm not supposed to be here.
I'll take that. Provincetown Library. Maybe some old books on the First Kindred. Boston Public Library. Still have unexplored archives. Taunton Public Library. Some works forbidden to the public, undetermined nature. Jefferson Library in Boston. Probably some very rare thaumaturgical archives, but access is risky. Woburn Public Library, unexplored archives. Cambridge Library. 2 ancient tomes on the history of the Venture in Boston. Well, I am guessing with the Second Inquisition running around, getting rid of things, about vampires might be smart.
These books are gorgeous. Lazarus must have paid a fortune for them.
Yes. Something's burning here. Can't analyze it, no education.
This page was torn out.
I need your help. Meet me as soon as you can in an alcove.
Battery's dead.
Battery's dead. Right.
Oh, I'm playing with fire. If someone spots me...
History of the Jefferson Library. I'm not going to dip into that. That seems a little bit much to jump into. Unless you really want me to, in which case I'll be happy to. No technology. Hooray. Message from Hilda McAndrews. Abby, can you confirm it's safe to come to Iverson's? I'm waiting your reply. Message from Kaltum Hamdan. Where are you? We're looking for you everywhere. Message from unknown number. Code red. Yay. Confidential. Domain Administration. Annual Financial Report. Ugh. A lot of reading. A lot more reading. Oof. I could be wrong. I'm not afraid to do a lot of reading, but...
Everything's gonna be fine. Calm down.
Well, I can almost bypass the lock, but I don't think I have the willpower for it, because I really porked myself. The success gives you back willpower, not the other way around.
What were you doing in the archives?
No. I don't want to get that hungry.
A party from a few years ago.
It's also part of
Journey
1998.
asked Abigail to look at.
At the request of our prince, Quentin King. I'm going to read that one. Your esteemed Prince of Boston, Quentin King, does you the distinct honor of inviting you to the winter solstice celebration at his home. Inspired by pagan masquerades, please come accompanied and above all, masked. You will be able to pledge your respects and allegiance to your revered prince throughout the longest night of the year. You are expected 7:30 p.m. on 12/21/1998. Please note, refusal is not an option. The safety of N+1s is not guaranteed.
Here's
There's
the
the other half of the
between
page.
Journey's email and the page that was torn out at Abigail's. Journey asked Abigail to meet her in an alcove at the bar. Abigail, we've got to talk.
Okay, guess we're gonna go talk to Abby next. The code's still the same, 9138. Close the door, silly. I'm going to consume the card because it's here. Consumables. Consumables are single-use items that provide bonuses. Most of the time, consumables are used to replenish willpower or eliminate hunger. Gear. Each type of gear has advantages and disadvantages when it's equipped. The effects of the gear apply as long as it's equipped. Gear may not be equipped or unequipped during dialogue. Documents, once they've been collected, consumable items, phones, documents can also be consulted from inside your inventory. No gear, 1 consumable, 1 item. I got a keycard. But we're gonna go get our 2 willpower back from whatever. I don't know how that card gives you back willpower, but I ain't worrying about it either. Just simply have the code. What was it? 9138? Huzzah! And more club business cards for extra willpower. Better off winning a freaking competition. Last items borrowed. Drory and card unification party. Last was Sheridan Prince's birthday party. Beryl Underwood, history of the court. Gala Bazary. Drory census. Last was Sheridan, Last Trusted Suppliers. Gala Bazary, source destinations, secure destinations. Dr. Richard Dunham, history of the Hartford Chantry. Not a lot there. That's okay. I think we're pretty much done in the archive.
Oh, you again. What do you want?
Me again. Hello, me. It's me again. An image of perfection.
April, have you seen Jay anywhere?
You can't let her out of your sight for 2 seconds.
The prince sent me to get her.
I can't discuss that with you.
Not that I think in a million years this is what happened, but what if Jay messed up somehow? What would happen to her?
Depends on the mistake. And how bad the consequences were. At best, the prince will be mad. At worst,
destruction?
Yeah. There's a good chance of that.
Lowerly.
You can tell me. My lips are sealed.
The only way I can make sure you don't talk is to keep my own lips sealed.
Okay.
Fine. I won't insist. If you see her, tell her I'm looking for her.
Yeah, sure.
What attitude. It's a good thing I was careful earlier.
You think? My God, stop being so crazy. Current business presentation of annual report. Unification party starts when all guests have arrived. Tour of Dr. Dunham's Red Salon. Private audience all night. Meeting with Mr. Underwood at the management of Red Salon. Meeting with Dr. Dunham on the optometrist Red Salon. Security review with Mr. Ori and Mr. Lido. Monthly meeting with Mr. Moore. Reread speech at Primogen Council October 21st. This came with a more authoritative ending. I'm thinking that trying to use her computer while she's literally standing like directly in front of me just seems so stupid. Ah, what the heck is up with that camera? Oof.
Hazel's
Did not like.
Answers.
Oof.
Bosley's looking for answers.
Rude. Yeah. It just feels so dumb to try to use your computer. And yet, let's be dumb. From Beryl Underwood to April Bosley, satisfaction for once. For once, we had to say just so much progress Journey has made in organizing the opening night of the Red Salon. Class up or surprise visit. Class had checked the quality of services, and you did not disappoint. Please don't embarrass us in front of Hartford. Email to the group. From April Bosley to the org group. Last minute checklist. Dear all, although the most important guests will most likely arrive late, be ready by 9 p.m. because you never know. Please check the following things every 15 minutes. State of the vessels. No excessive drunkenness unless desired by one of our guests. Impeccable cleanliness everywhere all the time. Make sure that everyone is comfortable. There are enough of you to satisfy any request. If there's a problem, page me. Make sure that no one is bored while waiting for Miss Iverson and Mr. Osborne to arrive. They're scheduled to get there 11:30 if anyone asks, but nothing's for sure as usual. This party is of the utmost importance in the words of Miss Iverson.
What a
Mistakes
disaster.
will not be tolerated. April Bosley. Right. We're not using the elevator. Journey cleared back out. Or, actually, she didn't come out. I think this is how she originally came in. Because that's us coming off the elevator.
Elevator to get here.
Yeah. That she was summoned by April to her office, where she went. After she was done at April's office, hi, mister. Buddy. Hello. It's a mister. Look at you, mister. Looks like the top is open. Want to go back up? They've been fighting for the top of the cat tree all day. But she went and saw April. She left April's. And from there she went.
Hurt me.
She went to her office, left her office, and went to the archive. From the archive, she went out to go meet her at a cubicle. So let's go have a chat with her over there, shall we? And find out where she went from there. Careful now, mister. You have your chance to take the top. What is with you in plastic? Don't understand. Plastic wrap. He just licks it and licks it and licks it. I don't know what he's trying to get out of it.
Come on, Imani. Now's not the time for this.
Sure. See? Lick, 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 lick. He occasionally chews on a little bit, but generally he just licks it. Oh, I didn't realize it had gotten that late. I need to feed this boy. That's what he's doing. He's hungry. He's a hungry, hungry boy. But then again, he's one. So of course he's hungry. And blocking my screen in a nice reminder of, hey, by the way, I'm hungry. Let's take a quick break while I go feed the kitties. Feed the cats. Be back. We're going on a break. Stretch. Get something to drink. Get a snack. Take any medications that you need to. In the meantime, I'm going to go feed the cats. I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
All right, take this down. The situation in Cuba has been evaluated by the relevant authorities. The mysterious illness affecting the staff at the U.S. Embassy in Havana was caused by sonic weaponry in the hands of a foreign power. Numerous personnel have damage to the inner ear, but most are expected to make a full recovery. Of course, the event also damaged their cellular walls, but we can't blame that on some stupid noise gun. Thank God no local doctors examined them first. Honestly, what are the odds an altered item would show up inside a U.S. embassy? Talk about good luck, huh? So much easier than... Hey, are you still recording this?
Are you still recording this?
Has been evaluated by the...
He's not looking so good today.
I've been fielding questions recently regarding HRAs. What are they for? Do you always need to wear them? And what's the deal with the Hedron resonance anyway? Fuck. Despite what you may have heard, HRAs are not monitoring devices. We're not tracking your movements or listening to your conversations while you're wearing them. We do that regardless whether or not you're wearing an HRA.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't know if it
Whoa,
is.
thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you very much.
For real?
Holy smokes.
I need the UV light.
I'm sorry, I don't have it. Thank you greatly. Oh my gosh. Someone just gave me a anonymous tip for $100.
Wait, what?
Somebody just tipped $100 anonymously.
Dang. That's awesome.
It is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I need to.
What about the top shelf?
What if it's the original Broadway cast recording of Cats?
At least that'd be ironic.
15 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Force failed. Try again, Andrew.
Fuck you, awkward voice recording.
Post-it notes. Lots of post-it notes. And holy crap, that's a lot of post-it notes. To whom it may concern, in case you are not aware, something caused a sticky note in my office to duplicate. My office is unusable now. I will be working from home until this is resolved. You can reach me on my cell or home phone. Sincerely, Jay Bozer, Vice Chief of Staff.
Come out of that Russian roulette a winner, and you're it.
Only the director can bind the service weapon and live, die. This is your ritual, challenge. You must choose to be the chosen one.
It could be Celine Dion's greatest hits.
You mean the essential Celine Dion?
She is a Canadian treasure.
Shit. Shit.
Isn't that about the appropriate reaction?
Pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
Oh, there's a bad day right there. Alright, I'm back. Cats are fed. They seem much happier now. Although, I have no doubt, because I fed them like 2 hours late, that's going to be like a blood sugar spike, and they're going to be like, wee, crazy cat mode. I'll bet, yeah, that's how it's going to go. Wow, Athena actually ate a whole bunch of her food. Even better still. And I still have one save zone if I feel like feeding on somebody again, but oh my god, those controls are so sensitive. But before I forget, apologies to Nakomi, you've been here for a while, so let's do a shout out for Nakomi.
Oh, Arvin is a robot.
Bruh.
I was such a robot.
That was so.
Oh, yes, I was very much the robot that night. Oh, yeah, alright, so, I'm back. Let's jump back in. You guys want me to look up anything in the codex, or shall we just keep going and following along? Oh, we'll just follow along, I think would probably be the best way to go. Yeah? I'm not sure how that works, but I might be able to turn the volume down, but hey. Alright. We're off to go confront somebody. But hopefully I could get some more willpower back. That would be happy. So happy. Hello there.
Can I help you?
Do you still work for April?
Well, aren't you rude? My loyalty is with the court.
Seems like Bosley's leading you around by the nose, though.
She's got some extra responsibilities, sure. But that's it. I have my own agenda.
Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised.
Well, I know she's seen Journey.
I'm looking for Jade. I know you've seen her recently. Do you know where she is?
What are you talking about? I never...
I found her note. You were supposed to meet at the bar. Why are you lying to me?
You went through my stuff?
Is that all you're worried about?
No. It wasn't personal. Journey was in a panic. She asked me for the pass to get into Jara's apartment.
Did she say why?
Only that she was looking for evidence. I didn't really get it. Let's keep this between us, all right? April's got other fish to fry.
I'll see about that. I'm going to find her.
Yeah, gotta love that wide-eyed, oh god, I'm in trouble look.
Apartment. That's on the Primogen floor. What was Jade looking for up there?
What a surprise, Mr. is finishing the food that Athena didn't finish. But she left it alone, so... I guess that's how that goes. Go on out, mister. I know that's what you want to really do. Shock surprise. Going up. Oh look, it's our sire. And oh look, there's the trail. Jara and John. I wonder if there's anything interesting there.
Oh, great. My shadow.
Your ex and your sire. Ah, man. I'm kind of regretting not having the education score at this point.
Notes from the Convention of Thorns. A book about alchemy? That's a weird thing to keep.
On the London court. Yeah, the fall of London and Queen Anne. I actually have this adventure, The Fall of London, because it's kind of a very direct lead-in into why everything in 5th edition Vampire is like, oh my god, they're coming right for us. It's kind of spooky. Wouldn't mind running it with the right group one of these days. Could be fun. History of the Boston Camarilla.
Annals on the First Inquisition. How morbid.
Morbid, yes. Thaumaturgy. Well, may as well get this friggin' conversation out of our hair.
I wish I was outside instead of being cooped up in here.
So, what exactly did Hazel want with you?
Nope, not spending the willpower. Nope, don't have the willpower. What do we think? Tell her, or it's none of her freaking business? Considering that their, ex is not getting along, Primogen or not, I don't really think it's any of her business, but... I don't think she really needs to know, but that's. I will definitely let you know. I haven't completely finished reading all of the 5th edition rules, but I do like a lot of what I've read. But I also have some of the early files before they revised them from the way that the original authors from Paradox screwed it up. But putting stuff in that they absolutely should not have and implying things that should never have been implied. Oh, but it's edgy. It's so Black Dog Games and... No. Just no. But yeah. Let's take a risk and tell her nothing. It's a risky bit, but we'll take that risk.
I'm sorry, but this is between Hazel and me.
I can't believe it. Don't you see what she's doing?
Yeah, she's asking for a little discretion, so what?
We haven't heard from anyone at the party all night. Many of our own didn't make it home. And she's still reigning through division. She's doling out information strategically. It's the worst possible thing to do in a crisis. And we needn't even mention how she treats the Primogen. She straight out refuses to see us.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Man. Well, it looks like MM is being at least slightly smarter with these responses. Although, let's be fair. Let's not, you know... Ouch. Let's not make accusations. It just doesn't seem smart. You're gonna play politics, be smart. Play the long game. I mean, you're gonna live for centuries, for crying out loud. Learn to play the long game.
She's isolating herself. It's a bad sign. Hazel's gone completely paranoid. She asked me a ton of questions.
You understand why I'm worried?
I don't need this right now. I've gotta go. I've got stuff to do.
Be careful.
I'm not so sure that was the smartest way to go about it, but, you know. That's interesting. The chairs designs are all different. They're like numbers. 1, 2...
Why is she keeping us at arm's length like this?
Yeah, well, the chairs are different. Interesting. Huh. That's actually kind of cool, though. I like that. All the different designs. I'll definitely go in there in a minute, but hey, if I got a chance to explore, let's explore. Nope. Door's locked. You guys gonna let me down this way? Nope, of course not. I think I can persuade them.
Good evening, Matt.
Nope, sure can't. Awesome. Yeah, let's save that for last. Anywhere else I might be able to wander into? Nope. That would have been too easy. Art, or someone's idea of it. And apparently we're not going to look at even though we're a Toreador. Ooh, sorry about that. A bit of a net spike. Oh, I could pick... Nope, I can't pick the lock. But I don't have a key. Boo! Boo! Is there a key somewhere we could get? It implies it. If it could be clan glyph, that's definitely a possibility.
The door is locked.
But I do think it's interesting that the chairs have different configurations on them. They seem almost more like numbers, but you're right, it could be a clan glyph, but I don't know which glyph would be which clan, considering that they're usually a little bit more artistic. No return action. Choices marked with a no U-turn symbol indicate there's no going back. Before selecting one of these options, make sure you're done exploring. Ooh, well, do we think we should still explore or should we keep going? I don't know that there's anything else because I'm pretty sure I've been into every room, talked with everybody, and I don't have the skills to pick locks. God, it's a lot more security skill than I could have bought anyway, even if I was buying the points myself. Where would I have gotten a key from? Can't think of it. It's possible, but there are 3 characters. So it's possible that somebody else will have the key to the room. That's definitely possible. Because we haven't done anything with Leisha, and we haven't done anything with Caleb. That's kind of creepy.
No fucking way. Shit.
So this
What?
is where you've been
Oh,
hiding.
Jesus, it's you. You scared the shit out of me. How did you find me?
You're really bad at covering your tracks.
Are you alone?
What the hell is going on?
Shit, Mem. It's a fucking nightmare. The code red is definitely because of the party. April told me Hazel was gunning for me. She thinks I'm responsible for this shit show.
So, you're hiding in Rory's room?
I'm looking for evidence. I saw that Jara had the file on the party. It's got all the contracts and stuff in it that will prove I did my job right. But I can't find them. It was my only shot to defend myself against her.
It's usually better to let people, in my experience, it's usually better to let people talk. If you're quiet enough, people will actually start talking if for no other reason than to just fill the silence. It's only when they know that trick that you have to actually kind of start speaking up again. Or they say something you have no choice but to interact with.
I did everything right, Ma'am. I was the one who rented the place. Same as always. Rooftop, away from prying eyes. I met with Richard to organize the vessels. I arranged for limos to be sent for the Hartford Chantry. I went through the same secure limo agency as usual. They're ours, so there's no risk. What the hell could have gone wrong?
I don't know. But there's no time to think about it. Hazel wants to see you.
And she asked you?
Ooh. This looks like a big choice. Take her to the prince, or run, run. What do we think? Just take her directly to the prince and follow our orders? Be a little bit less suspicious, but I got a really bad feeling that would be throwing her under the bus. And we'd have to try to lie to the prince, and I don't know how well I could pull that off, because, you know, princes are princes because they're not because they're weak, that's for sure. What do you think, chat? Like we should just follow orders and bring her directly to the prince? Or try to help her make an escape during a code red from the prince's own house? No pressure. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Plus, of course, let's talk about getting you a seat on the Primogen. I think I would have to agree. Anybody else have an idea or a thought about what they would do? Going once. Going twice. Sold. Off to the prince we go.
It's gonna be fine, Jay. I'm sure you can explain everything.
I'm scared, ma'am.
Don't worry about anything. I'm here.
I'll follow you.
All right then. Oh, now we're Leisha, the unstable seer. From madness comes great clarity. A wise prince knows how to recognize this rare talent in their subjects and gives them the recognition that others deny them. Shall we choose a profile for Leisha, or shall we build it ourselves? Still not 100% certain we should be building ourselves for the first run through, because this game, just for the record, has at least 8 known endings and 2 secret endings, and I'm not expecting to find all of them in one run. But I do know that maybe your investigator is not necessarily the best, but it could be wrong. I do know for a fact she needs an aspects of 2. So whichever profile comes with that would be the smartest. Jack of all trades. All right. Deduction, security, technology, psychology, persuasion, rhetoric. Mental 3, social 2, physical 2. Damn. She's definitely a little bit more potent. But she doesn't have the aspects of 2. Got a lot of other good ones. Alright. Well, I guess we're going to have to try, because it doesn't look like there's a way to back out of that. It's okay. We'll survive. I think. Nope, I can go back. Still not what I want. I'm gonna have to build my own if I want to do this at all. It's annoying. Guess I could try it. Let's do education this time. You know what? Probably we'll just take the Jack of all trades. Can't survive without the extra point in aspects.
Leisha, it's good to see you.
Be good, sweetie.
How was your reunion with Halsey?
Thank you, Hazel. Your gift was wonderful. You shouldn't have troubled.
You're welcome. We should never have kept you apart for this long.
Good evening, Delsin.
Good evening, Leisha.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. Better and better since I got my little sugar fangs back.
Wonderful.
I haven't seen Richard yet. Does he know I've been released from the Institute?
No, I'm the prince. It was my decision. He is your psychiatrist, but you don't need his permission for everything.
He wasn't at the party, was he?
I'm searching for everyone who's still missing. Don't worry about him.
Thank you.
Leisha, I know I can be frank with you. For 4 years, I have been working to heal the city's wounds. You've already helped me avoid traps in the past.
Again, goes with my same general advice. Let people talk.
You're not like the other children of Malkav. Quentin King knew that.
The Mad King. I remember, yeah.
I had you released from the Institute because your premonitions are the most detailed, the most accurate. I wanted them to help me understand the Chantry's hand more clearly before we signed our agreement with them. But this alert changes everything. I need to understand what's just happened. Did you sense anything, possibly about what happened tonight?
I'm not lying to the prince. Nope. Not happening.
I saw images, but they had nothing to do with this party. It didn't make any sense. It was a long, white hallway.
It's a little early for sure, but it's a good start.
I'm sorry, I can't be of more help.
Don't be sorry. There's something else you can do for me. Your discretion can still be of use to me. I need to be sure that none of the members of my council are going to take advantage of the situation.
Still, say nothing.
You and Delsin are the only two people I trust entirely. The members of the council have their council lodgings here. It gives them the impression that they have power, and it means I can keep an eye on them. I'm going to give you the key. Go and see if you find anything that could make me doubt their loyalty. Anything that might make me think there's something in the works.
All right.
Miss Drury burned the midnight oil to make sure this event was secret. I imagine there might be some evidence in the information she gathered. I need it.
All right, consider it done.
You've never disappointed me, Leisha. Please don't start today. Until then, I hope to have found more information. But above all, don't share what we've discussed with anyone. I don't need more gossip.
Can I take Halsey with me?
Of course.
All right then. I'll be right back.
Oh dear. Anybody else feel like we're getting set up in the most horrible fashion?
Damn it, I don't believe it.
Give in. fight premonitions. It's just dumb.
That was intense. I have to be careful.
Introspective.
Shit. They're gone.
Alright, how long are we in that premonition for?
Mom, I'm going to Richard's to see if he has my teddy.
Okay.
Come and find me when you're done.
Let's see if Hazel was right. Did Jara leave anything behind?
Let's find out. There. Picture. Prospects. Since it's free. No hunger, so fresh fed. Jara, I would like to have given you this bond that you've been waiting for so long, but I can't bring myself to condemn you to my situation. But don't be afraid. I will never abandon you, Jara, never. We're bound together forever. We are one. Since that first night, that first instant, nothing can ever keep us apart. I promise. I'm guessing blood bond. Where are you? The time has come. Password equals arrival.
This thing's old. Does she still use it?
Are we OCD here?
A log with a list of everything that was checked for the party. Invoices, reservations, rentals. All from our network. It's journeys. That could be of interest to Hazel.
Like that. Well, apparently I could try to bypass the lock, but I guess I'm probably gonna have to. Oof, that's expensive though. Ugh. From Caius to me, August 24th, as you wish. Starting with the bottom. August 20th, R.A. Quincy Market. Mr. Ori, I've already told you about my need to investigate the Quincy Market case. I know you disagree with my theory, but an abort attack on the prince is not to be taken lightly. Please reconsider your position. Caius, I never reconsider anything without new evidence. If you have anything, send it to me. They're not on a computer. You know how I feel about them. As you wish. Unauthorized transmission. Mr. Oric, I picked up a signal that appears to be an unauthorized outbound call. Could you come and see me as soon as possible? They can give you the details. Did you try to access my computer? No, I can't imagine anyone being able to hack into your computer since you change your password every 3 days. Besides, I thought you preferred handwritten notes. This is not something I'm willing to joke about. That's enough. I know you ordered my computer to be searched. You don't have to... Oh my gosh, we're gonna go... way back. Reset secure transmissions. These are gonna mean anything at the moment. But I don't have to come back for the codes. Hartford party. Sophia, it's precisely 10 o'clock p.m. I'm heading to the party, leaving Caius Leto in charge. You know the procedure. Let everyone know. Have a good night. That's enough. I know you order my computer to be searched. You don't have to monitor me like this, but good almighty if you don't trust me. Jara, if someone's trying to search your computer, believe me, the order didn't come from me. I have every confidence in you, and I urge you to have the same confidence in me. Finally, in the future, I'd appreciate it if you don't make such sweeping accusations without proof. If you have any concerns, come and speak to me. Sincerely yours. Yeah, the journal is probably what Journey was looking for. I rely on myself to protect what needs to be protected. I have my ways of keeping myself safe from undue curiosity. This kind of seems like an OCD thing. interesting. Here's obfuscate. Nope, won't be doing that today. Information notes for the Unification Party. That is a long list. Oh boy.
This is what Hazel asked me to bring her.
Go to Halsey or investigate other members of the Primogen. Arrival. But where am I supposed to use that arrival password? Certainly not on here. Well, I'm sure I'll figure out where to use that password soon enough. We have a key.
It looks like one of Richard's Rorschach tests. In green. Even with the color, I still see the same things always. Blood.
See blood in that. Okay. Sure. It's the key. Aha.
Huh, nobody here. I'm going to be able to take a look around Dijon's.
Nice. Well, he's got taste. Give him that. This place looks nice and cozy. Definitely got a thing for music. Jazz. It's also good.
The Salem Gazette.
Huh. Invitation only. I recognize that symbol in the middle. Guardian Ravens. Cauldron, a raven, corn, raven droppings, corn straw. Blood magnet, silver bowl, blood. Knife and candles, fresh bird's blood, skull, white candle wax. Candles, white satin ribbon, have the prey, seen the prey beforehand. Prey must not go underwater or cross water. Candles and skull, own blood, and a sacrificed animal for that. Key. Also seems to have a thing for crabs. Well, everybody's got their own little sense of the unusual.
Tarot cards. How fun. The Emperor, the Chariot, Temperance. Easy. Dijon is thinking about taking a trip. Tarot cards. How fun. The Emperor, the Chariot, Temperance.
Yep.
Easy. Dijon is thinking about taking a trip.
I agree. Polaroid photo. Nostalgia, recovering memories and images of her lost past, is what ultimately drives Leisha. Used to restore 2 willpower. Key, master key to the Primogen apartments, file on identification to landing, jar of drawers, notebook. Cool.
Just like New Orleans. This is definitely Dijon's place.
Hello there. Pierce obfuscate.
Well, well. What have we here?
My dear sisters, I hope this letter will reach you quickly. Things are critical here. It seems that we've been the target of a major incident. A code red has been issued. We have not heard from those who had already lodged to the party. Our prince had organized for the unification. This could be in our favor, because it's possible the Hartford Chantry is behind it. Although I have faithfully served my prince's interests while negotiating this treaty, these new suspicions could serve our interests in relation to potential lines between Boston and Salem.
He didn't finish his letter. But that'll be enough for Hazel to make up her mind about him.
Okay. Well, be analyzing the blood.
This knife has blood on it.
Do anything about it. Well,
He must have done a warlock ritual. A bird. Dead.
Investigate the other Primogen? How deep does this go? That's a good question. We're definitely going to find out. Well, I know not to take the elevator. It's an interesting conversation we're going to have later, because that's Caleb.
I can't let you through. I have orders.
I like the sound of that. I'm sorry, I can't let you through.
That's okay. I have a key.
If I can do anything to help, let me know.
Tell your friends to bugger off? Ooh, wow.
Hazel told me to keep a low profile here. This area is reserved for the prince and her Primogen. Shit. Hilda's in her office. She's going to see me.
Obfuscate unseen passage. Unseen passage allows you to move around without being seen. At this state, it is not possible to physically interact with the environment. You may, however, stealthily read a document or examine an object. They'll probably be activated automatically if you enter a location that is prohibited. Good to know. Alright.
I shouldn't get too close. She might be able to sense me.
Let's listen in.
Why did you come back? Why? Other than to show that you're doing just fine on your own. If you only knew everything I've done for you. Ma'am.
Hilda's more concerned with Mem than she is with Hazel. I hope she'll be happy to hear that.
Seems kind of risky to keep looking around here, if you want my honest opinion. A little bit of obsession seems to come to mind to me, though. Do we feel like it's safe enough to come out of stealth to search this stuff? Yes, there was a ritual involving a bird in your own blood. It's obviously has some kind of a right. 1926. Wow. You must forgive me. I admit that I went too far, but you left me no choice. You don't understand what's going on inside me. I can't say the thought of you watching me growing old. Imagining that you go on alone without me after I'm gone. I just don't want to just tell you I could die for you. I want to be able to show everyone that I died for us. I know you're angry. I understand you're risking your neck if I keep urging you to make me your partner for eternity without permission. So ask for it. If you love me, I beg you, ask for it. Or I'll end up dying anyway, because without you, life will be of no interest anymore. I know that. Hilda, I love you, and you're the only one who can let me add forever to it. For real. Your mem. Yeah, we could go back and read the books again. It's not a big deal. The question is do we feel safe enough unstealthing? Oof. This feels risky. I can't unstealth as long as I'm in here. Alright. So, it's enough to know that there's some stuff that could be investigated in here, but I can't do it while Hilda's actually in here. Because it won't actually let me turn off the stealth to do it. Beryl Underwood. This guy. Well, let's go back and take a look at that ritual real quick. Restoration ritual. Candle, skull, blood, sacrificed animal. Candles, skull, sacrificed animal. So it was a revelation ritual. Or restoration. What was he restoring? Good question. Get information from Beryl Underwood. Okay. Might be another way to do it. Instead of sneaking up on him. Sir, Miss Everson is an honor to invite you to the Grand Unification Party, September 4th at 11, International Place, Boston. Pretty. But everything they do is always pretty. I'll try doing this a little differently. Let's just try walking in.
Leisha. Restricted access means nothing to you, I see. Make yourself at home. Don't mind me. How am I not surprised?
What doesn't surprise you?
For you to turn up at a time like this.
The prince had me released.
Of course, she needs you. I'm guessing she sent you to spy on the council.
Ugh.
What do you mean?
Tell me, you remember the last time she pulled you out of your musty hole?
It's just that
You don't remember, do you? You're still having those little memory issues, it seems. And I suppose Halsey's here too.
Of course she is.
The more the merrier.
Don't start with me, Beryl. Otherwise...
Why don't you go out and play in the sun? And let
Wow, this
me
guy's a
get
dick.
back to work.
And I can't focus enough.
With
now.
everything that's going on, Hazel will appreciate your dedication.
Get out, please.
That's all I'm going to be able to find out about him. Hazel's gonna be disappointed.
I don't know about that.
Halsey's waiting for me. I hope Hazel will be proud of us.
I just don't have the skill points to get the information from him. It's pretty much as straightforward as that. But yeah, we're gonna look at Dejin's backstory. Clan Tremere, 9th generation. Sheesh. Embrace 1998. 9th gen, 1998. Really? Wow. Sire Marie de Richet, child Imani. Meeting. Dejin had a passion for the occult. He was working at a record shop when he became acquainted with Marie de Richet. This kindred had fled Hartford after being sentenced to final death for receiving the embrace from a Tremere vampire without the approval of the city's prince. She joined Marcel, the Prince of New Orleans, who had specialized in voodoo rituals. In 1998, she decided to sire Dejin because of the exceptional aptitude he showed for this art. To deepen his knowledge of thaumaturgy with the other chantries, he decided to go on a journey that was the same as the one Marie had taken when she was younger. Revenge. On his way to Salem, Dejin made a stop in Boston. Had Hazel Iverson asked to speak with him. She sought new supporters to counterbalance the power of her primogen. She earned Dejin's trust by revealing that she was aware of his origins, his bloodline, and their banishment from New England. She promised him her utmost discretion if, in exchange, he joined the Boston primogen and kept her informed of their every action. Dejin accepted on the condition that he be allowed to train with the Sisters of Salem as he had initially planned. The warlock was very well received, in particular by Richard Dunham, who was conducting secret research on blood and was delighted by the insight of the thaumaturge would provide. Dejin went on to negotiate the agreement with the Hartford Chantry on behalf of Hazel, not only because she was his prince, but also to exact his revenge on those who had punished his sire. Interesting. Revenge. Indeed. That does make me curious what he's looking for. Okay, sure. But we did get another trait. Introspective. Minus 20 the cost of Auspex.
Ugh, impossible. It's locked.
And apparently my key doesn't mean anything for that one.
Richard's apartment.
There's a lot of books. Well, could be to restore a sire. That's definitely not outside the realm of possibility.
He didn't change a thing, as usual.
But I don't know that Tremere are usually really fond of resurrection type things. That sire must mean an awful lot to him, but considering his generation, his blood would definitely be potent enough to do some very potent blood magic. Dear Dr. Dunham, as instructed, I prepared the donors you listed for the unification party. They will be ready for you to pick up at 9 p.m. at the Red Salon. I think your guests will be impressed by the quality of the vintages you're offering them, and I hope they will fully appreciate the fruits of your labors.
No, he's not there. Where are you, Mr. Teddy?
How many hours have I spent sitting in this armchair for my therapy sessions?
You're a child of Malkav. What are you doing therapy to start with? Archived confidential report 1978. March 6th, unknown origin. 13 members of the court caught in a sudden collective panic for several minutes. Quentin King, our prince, called for an investigation. Closed without any conclusive findings in 1988 after the prescribed 10 years of investigation. October 31st, unknown origin. The servants of the Primogen Apartments began
Mr.
to hum
Teddy.
the same song for 1 hour. Quentin King, our prince, called for investigation. Closed without conclusive findings in 1988 after the prescribed 10 years of investigation. Archive Confidential Report 1999, October 31st. Unknown origin. The servants in the prince's quarters all laughed hysterically for 1 hour. Quentin King, our prince, called for an investigation. Closed without any conclusive findings in 2009 after prescribed 10 years of investigation.
He must be hiding somewhere else.
May 7th, Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, reported feeling a sudden and brief mental intrusion during her speech. Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, called for investigation. Closed after investigation. Report delivered in person.
Mr. Teddy.
August 8th, unknown origin. Feeling of imminent death felt by several members of the court lasting several minutes. Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, called for investigation. Closed after investigation. Report delivered in person. October 31st, unknown origin. Servants in the Primogen's apartments began vomiting for several minutes. The vessel's present experienced uncontrollable crying fits throughout the night.
Else.
Miss Hazel Iverson, our prince, called for an investigation. Closed after investigation. Report delivered in person. Strange things going on here. Always around Halloween.
No, he's not there. Where are you, Mr. Teddy?
Only Richard would still use that.
Please insert storage medium. No disk. Cool. Guess we're gonna go looking for a disk then.
He must be hiding somewhere else. Mr. Teddy.
Oh, a floppy disk. That's all Richard knows how to use.
What a surprise.
Maybe I'll find a way to read it.
Vampires and their disdain for technology. Too much stasis in the blood. Alright. Dear Miss Iverson, as per your request, Mr. Underwood came to the Red Salon to carry out our review and view of the collaboration with the Hartford Tremere. We could confirm that production can triple if we expand operations into our basement. I think it'd be wise to create a reserve and allocate only 1/3 of our production to Hartford. We will also provide a temperature-controlled storage area for this purpose. As for your more practical questions, please do not include the formulas I've been able to work out in your dealings. Mr. Underwood also feels that we need to keep them secret in order to keep the advantage of this agreement. We both feel that convincing them to send Tremere to Boston to perform the blood stabilization tests would be a better alternative. As for an industrialized production of more than 400 units per week, I prefer to err on the side of caution. If I am able to produce everything alone in my laboratory, aiming for more at the start would require a remove and would surely get us noticed by our suppliers of raw materials. I hope to have provided you with the missing information for your discussions on this agreement, which, in addition to the giant step forward will make it possible for science, will undoubtedly be the dawn of a new Boston under your reign. Sincerely, Dr.
Richard
Dunham.
must have had a breakthrough, if Hazel's interested in it.
Alright, who is this Richard guy? And why is he making me paranoid? Alright, we could look up the Beckoning. The Beckoning is a 5th edition thing. In 5th edition, the world suddenly took a shift. And the Ancillary, most of the older generation just got up and left. And nobody really has a clue where they've gone, which, for the most part, anybody that was older than a certain age felt what was called the beckoning to leave. Nobody really quite gets where they went. But it could be, a thing, part of Gehenna. But there isn't a lot of, information about it. Beast, which is different. The Beast in 5th edition is a little bit different than the Beast in everything else. Low-profile encounter place where all the boss and kindred who can afford it go to enjoy the mortals that have been expertly prepared by Dr. Richard Dunham. Primogen. Prince. Masquerade. Siren Child. Salem Chantry. Retainer. Yeah, there's nothing in here to kind of really truly explain the beckoning. Oh, he's Malkavian himself. That's great. A Malkavian treating a Malkavian with psychology. No, nothing horrible is going to happen there. Member of the Primogen, Clan Malkavian, date of embrace 1897, generation 10. Sire Biltmore, child Halsey. Anew on life. To preserve the Masquerade, Richard declared his death in 1902 in Zurich. He moved to France, where he continued practicing psychiatry in a number of hospitals under the name of Dr. Richard Dunham. In 1920, he relocated to the Lunatic Asylum in Braun, where he met a young French patient who would serve as a catalyst for a revolution in the way he viewed his psychiatric research. It was in order to save this patient and her daughter, his most precious research subjects, that he arranged for their departure for the United States in 1939 with the onset of World War II. The Malkavians, in exchange for services, aided his escape to Boston, where they held a powerful domain. Upon their arrival, Richard boasted of his research to Quentin King, the Malkavian prince of the city, and introduced him to the two patients in his care, Laisha and her daughter Halsey. The court was just as fascinated as he was by the abilities of Richard's two patients, but in particular Laisha's visions. Her gift allowed the three of them to benefit from the interest and protection provided by the prince, who saw Richard as the greatest psychiatrist of all time, the one who would usher in the era of the children of Malkov. Promising research. In 1950, Richard exhibited his psychiatric research on the resonance of vessels, which earned him the support and recognition of his peers. He experimented on the vessels using chemical cocktails in order to significantly amplify their resonance. His experiments were a success under the reign of Hazel Iverson, who immediately realized the incredible opportunity this presented for Boston. If she could maintain the properties of the enhanced blood in containers using magic, she could corner the blood market and, more importantly, leave her mark in history. The prince gave Dr. Dunham the means to carry out his research and began to negotiate an alliance with the Hartford Chantry to get the help of the Blood Witches. Richard, however, only looked after his own interests, to advance the psychiatry of the children of Malkov. To do so, he must satisfy the prince, but he must also protect his most precious subject of study, Laisha, from the prince's ambitions. That doesn't at all sound, dire. Laisha, Malkavian, Generation 12, date of embrace 1939, and absolutely nothing about the sire. Okay. That which remains. Laisha's story is nothing more than an elaborate collection of fragments due to her memory impairment. She remembers she's from France near Lyon, but that Dr. Richard Dunham is her psychiatrist, as he has always been. She knows that he saved them from the war in 1939, both her and her daughter Halsey. He made it possible for them to join the Boston court, held at that time by Quentin King, the child of Malkov like them. The rest is nothing but light and shadow. Leisha knows the names and sometimes even the stories of those around her without knowing exactly how or why. She remembers Quentin King, the previous prince, and his legendary obsessions, and more recently Hazel, the first year of her rise to power. Leisha remembers her warmly and fondly, despite only knowing her for a single year, before leaving to be put into slumber at the Malkov Institute of Boston, as prescribed by Dr. Dunham. Leisha suffers from sudden visions where the present moment and the possible futures bleed into one another. She fights her gift in order to be fit to take care of Halsey. However, this does not serve the prince's plans, as Hazel views this power as a way to master fate and bolster her ambition. Oh yay. Halsey, Malkavian Generation 11. Date of embrace 1939. Generation 12. I'm thinking there's a connection here. Halsey is Leisha's daughter. Her Malkavian nature has kept her mind that of a little girl. For Halsey, everything must be a game, hide-and-seek, a story. But above all, everything must be done with her mother, for whom she does not like to be separated. I've got a feeling about that. I got a big feeling about that. I got big feels. Oh, yes. Alright.
No, he's not there. Where are you, Mr. Teddy?
So, did you find your teddy?
No, not yet. I'm not sure he's here. What about you? Did you finish your job for the prince?
Yes, I found something that might be of interest to Hazel.
Does that mean we're going back to see the prince then?
I don't think so. I think there's another set of rooms I've missed.
Not quite, Pumpkin. I want to take another look around. You wait for me here, but be good.
I will.
Pardon me. Yep, I think that Halsey is Leisha's sire. And I think that Richard is Halsey's sire because it says so outright.
Mr. Teddy.
The thing is, though, is that generally speaking, you don't make children into vampires. Oh, you're fine. Typos are okay. They're never going to bother me. As long as I get it mostly right, and if I don't, you could always tell me when I get it wrong. Go check to see if I haven't missed anything else. Because the Auspex trail definitely didn't go that way. I don't think we're gonna go. I don't think we can go downstairs though. We still can't get into that room.
Oh, shit. Locked from the other side.
Well, then I guess we are done here. The thing is if he really did embrace Halsey, how in the world is Richard still around? Well, because of his thing for the blood residents. That's the only thing I think that kept him from getting slaughtered for making a child vampire. Because that's just such a bad idea. This game is really good, and I like the fact that it's using 5th edition mechanics. The 5B beast is still the beast, but nowadays your beast is actually a little bit different. It's more like it drives you in different ways. So instead of like just going into like weird frenzies, the beast drives you like doing things. Like Beryl Underwood, for example, is completely obsessed with money. That's his beast. That's his burden that the beast puts on him. It's different. So it looks like we are done over here after all.
Are you almost done?
Yes, I found something that might be of interest to Hazel.
Does that mean we're going back to see the prince then?
Why, yes. Yes, it is. And wow, I'm so sorry about that background. I have no idea what's doing that.
Let's go, Sugarfangs.
Sugarfangs.
Leisha. I'm all ears.
Everything went all right.
I knew I could count on you. Was Halsey a good girl?
Yes, as usual.
Good. Were you able to find anything interesting in Ms. Drury's apartments?
Yes, there was intel she had gathered on the guests, including those from the Hartford Chantry.
Anything about their regent, Deneb Osborne?
Yes, he seems to be obsessed with memory magic.
Interesting.
I gave everything to Delsin.
Thank you. I'll take a look at it later. Were you able to see or hear anything interesting?
Wow. Nice. They picked up a file on our security.
I also found that at Jara's. A file on the party. It's a record of everything Journey did.
That could be useful. Give it to Delsin
Trait
on
gained.
your way out.
Merciful.
Anything else?
We're interested to see what that's going to do for us. Would Richard be working with the Thin Bloods, their alchemy? Possibly. Because in 5th edition, the Thin Bloods actually have a lot more power, a lot more sway over things than before, because of the beckoning, and because vampires are like freaking out over losing their elders. But they're less inclined to look down on the Thin Bloods, and that's also why there's more Anarchs, because with the Camarilla splitting, the Anarchs are kind of doing their own thing. The majority of Anarchs are 13th and 14th generation. 13th generation aren't really the Thin Bloods as much as the 14th, but they make up a good chunk of the Anarchs. But most Anarchs are smart enough not to piss off the Camarilla, because they know that they're basically screwed if they do. But they kind of have a little bit of modicum of respect now, because they've been able to show that if they're smart, or if they're actually in the Camarilla, they can actually advance a little bit better. It's interesting.
I had a vision.
I knew you would. What did you see? Was I in your vision?
I think it was me. My forehead was on fire.
All right. Do you have any idea what it could mean?
Not in the slightest. Are you disappointed?
The important thing is that you're starting to have visions again.
Let's not admit that. Since MM's taking Journey in here anyway. 13th generation is the first generation where you get the most, okay. The term caitiff applies to any vampire who doesn't know their sire or was abandoned without learning anything. Caitiff are not necessarily up for destruction if, like, somebody, say, turned them illegally. They're still likely to get destroyed, but the true definition of a caitiff is any vampire who does not know or understand their sire, where they came from. Most 14th generation are caitiff because the Thin Bloods are people that the blood was fed to, but they didn't immediately come to life. Sometimes they come to life a few hours later, sometimes they come back to life the next day, sometimes they come to life in the freaking morgue. But they're effectively caitiff because their sire thought that it failed. But 13th gen was the start of where most of the caitiff began, and the thin-blooded 14th generation is where even more of them are. But caitiff and thin bloods are now very different because the blood's kind of mutated, in a manner of speaking. Because they can have very weird combinations of disciplines that aren't connected to any clan at all. And that really freaks out some of the older generation. They don't like the fact that they're using disciplines that should bind them to a clan, but don't.
At John's, I found a letter addressed to the Salem Chantry.
Did he betray me for the Warlocks?
I don't know. It just said that he's participating in your project, but that he would have preferred an agreement with Salem.
Oh, I understand his recent illusions a little better now. I'm going to need to have a word with him. Go on.
That sounds a little ominous. For John? Yes.
Hilda was in her room. She was acting strangely.
What do you mean?
She was whispering things, talking to a picture of MM.
Touching, but that's of no importance.
Nothing else?
That's all I was able to find.
I knew I could count on you. Thank you, Leisha.
Richard still wasn't there. Were you able to find out anything else?
Yes, one of my servants just came back from his bar, the Red Salon, as that's where he does his research. I had hoped to find him there. But she confirmed that Dr. Dunham had gone to the party early with a few of his vessels. I'm sorry, Leisha.
No. If he had been destroyed, I would have felt it. I have to go find him.
You're the most discreet of all of us, it's true. But we have no idea what might have happened there. It could be dangerous.
I won't be alone. Halsey will be with me.
Of course. And one last thing. Dr. Dunham wasn't the only one there. There was also Miley, my child. Bring her back to me.
Yes, of course. We'll leave right away.
I wouldn't expect anything less of you. Thank you, Leisha.
Overview. Each scene ends with an overview of your accomplishments, failures, and what you could have done differently. For each success, your character earns experience points. Traits. Introspective, -20 for the next experience cost for Auspex. Merciful, plus 10% success in a rhetoric tie. Success, you let the premonition overtake you. Alternatively, you could have spied on the conversation between MM and Journey. You gave the prince the documents that would certainly clear Journey's name. You listened to hear what was on Hilda McAndrew's mind. You found a letter from Dejan Siaka confirming his preference for the Salem Chantry. You told the prince what was in Dejan Siaka's letter. You could have discovered Beryl Underwood's preoccupations. Not with the skills that I had. There was no way. Not a chance. $75 experience points. Ooh, that's going to be a nice, some nice buys. MM and Journey.
Come here. Thanks, MM. You've brought me Journey. I knew I could count on you.
Jay is waiting in the antechamber. She's nervous. Tell Delsin to go easy on her.
We'll see about that.
But we do have the evidence from Leisha that she's actually innocent.
Did you need me for anything else?
Not right now, but I will soon. I have one more favor to ask of you.
Oh, goody. More favors. Put in her place. -10 to the next experience cost with a mental attribute. Success. You obeyed the prince. Journey followed you to the prince. You spied on a conversation about Journey. You were able to retrace Journey's steps before she left thanks to her scent. Resonance bonus to presence. Alternatively, you could have tried to convince Journey to flee. 75 XP. Very good. Very, very good. We're doing pretty good for just starting out. Caleb Bazori, Eternal Protector. Mortal kings had lackeys. The princes of Boston have Caleb. While rulers come and go, Caleb remains, and his presence tonight is not reassuring. He seems like the best person for either an investigator or a veteran. Only because of the truly implied, people come and go, but he still remains. It just screams veteran to me. But we could always go back and look at all of the stats for him and see if the pick would work out. Physical, social, mental, deduction 2. He has education. Security, intimidate, rhetoric, but no persuasion or psychology. Presence 2. Sense the unseen. He's already got it at 1. Fortitude 1. Only available in exploration. Withstand physical pain. Hunger costs depending on your fortitude. Dominate 1. I'm just kind of curious. We can come back to Investigator in a minute, but I'm kind of curious what he looks like as a veteran. Physical 2, Social 1, Mental 2, Education 1, Intimidation and Rhetoric, Fortitude 2, Presence 1, Dominate 1. Definitely different. Lots of skills, lots of social, plus security and education, because he's not really investigating anything. And 1-1-1. Well, technically 1-1-1-1. Still think investigator? Investigator does seem to be a little bit more what he's there for. I'll agree on that.
My prince. Delsin. Zori. It seems that the Camarilla is in danger. I am at your disposal.
Your sense of duty is a credit to you, Caleb. You haven't lost your touch, I hope. The Code Red is linked to the Unification Party with the Chantry. No one there is answering anymore.
And she was there.
How many of us were there?
Probably a good 20, give or take. Dr.
I think
Venom and
Investigator
our
says
top
it's going to work
spy,
best for how this is going to
Jarrett
work.
were already there.
We might have lost 2 members of the Primogen.
Damn, he has a willpower of 15. Ooh, we're definitely going to get to talk to a lot of people, I'm hoping.
What about Hartford? Have you heard from them?
If those dogs had anything to do with what happened, I'll cut their throats myself.
Do you think they might be involved?
I don't know. It's too early to draw any conclusions.
Where do you want to start?
Can I count on you?
You have no reason to doubt me.
One by one, the Ancilai heed the beckoning and go east. You're the eldest in the city now. Don't do this to me. Not now. I would be very grateful to you. And Fang.
How may I be of service?
Go and see Caius with Jaragon. He's in charge of security. He may have learned something.
You can count on me.
You have my absolute confidence, Caleb.
Alright, what's going on between those two? He's also trying to make a child, which... It's definitely going to be looked to do things just to... Find Caius Leto. Protector of the Camarilla, Clan Ventru, date of embrace 1745. Generation 11, sire Jean-Baptiste Trabinier. Child, Beryl Underwood, for the imperial throne at 1710 in Constantinople. Mirza, the king's light, gave birth to Shahzad Suleiman, her firstborn son, Mirza, whose birth name was Jeannette de Bazari, left France and joined the harem of Ahmed III, Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, the previous year, and quickly became his favorite. She was a doting mother who was constantly concerned about the child who was destined to inherit his father's throne. Suleiman, for his part, was given an excellent education and learned about the courtly life of his younger brother, Zazad Mustafa. The two brothers had very different personalities. While Suleiman was quiet, stubborn, and adventurous, Mustafa was more versatile and fearful. The fall. In 1730, their father Ahmed III became unpopular, and the Janissaries revolted against him and forced him to abdicate in favor of his nephew. From that moment on, the seething Suleiman began plotting revenge in the long term to restore his father to the throne. Although he was aware of the problems this would cause, he felt the only thing he could do was to put the right ruler back on the throne. His mother, having heard of this, made him promise to give up his plan and disappear before the Janissaries could kill him. She convinced him to leave for the west by faking his death. Suleiman's secret set sail one night in 1732. Mirza died a few weeks later out of grief for the loss of her son. It was said, however, the truth is quite different. Having caught wind of her betrayal, the Janissaries murdered her. New life. The boat that belonged to Jeannette de Bazari's family took Suleiman to the port of Antwerp, where, in homage to his mother, he called himself Galeb Bazari. He was adopted by a family of diamond merchants who traded between Europe and the New World, and whose newfound fortune grew rapidly. Under their guidance, Galeb sailed the oceans in search of new business ventures. He honed his knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, forged relationships around the globe, but used the opportunity to weave an impressive web of influence. His business dealings brought him into contact with aristocrats whose conventions he mastered, as well as with drunken sailors with whom he learned to manage. Out of necessity, he became a leader. His natural authority and his ability to adapt won him respect. Little by little, his life on the deck of the ship became his only source of pleasure. He never set foot in his native land again. It was through sailors that he learned of his mother's death, followed by that of his father, and finally his brother Mustafa III's ascension to the throne. The throne that could have been his, a family that he could have saved. No matter how far he sailed, these thoughts were always with him. The embrace. During a stop at Cadiz in 1740, he met Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, a renowned French explorer and merchant who had supposedly died in Moscow in 1689. In reality, he was a Ventru seeking to expand his control of the diamond trade at all costs. The collaboration between the two men proves to be fruitful, even beyond Tavernier's expectations. The Zore's effectiveness and his discretion delighted him. In the space of a few years, their professional dealings were enriched by secrets, and the young sailor saw in his mentor the father figure he had never really had. One calm night after a particularly turbulent Atlantic crossing, Galeb opened up to Tavernier a bit more and told about his background. Tavernier understood what appealed to him about this young sailor, his nobility, which, although hidden, naturally emanated from him. The thought came to Tavernier, who had never sired anyone before. He began to treat Galeb like a true member of his family and spoke to him about the occult to gauge his reaction. Then came the thorny issue revealing his true nature. Tavernier portrayed the embrace as a gift. It didn't take much to convince the young sailor of the value of agelessness. Galeb accepted. His embrace was painful and bitter. It took him several days to be able to tolerate the beast that would now gnaw at him for all eternity. Tavernier attempted to focus his child's anger on the revenge he would get against those who had deprived him of his throne, but Galeb did not see things that way. His thirst for justice was replaced by a disgust for humankind and a growing disinterest in their affairs. He now wished to rise above the kind, to use his eternity for previously impossible purposes. His sire, who saw a certain interest in it, let his child experiment. Galeb spent half a century roaming the seven seas of the globe, getting rich by acquiring diamond mines and trading companies. He toyed with the laws of men, but scrupulously respected the principles the Tavernier instilled in him. The mutually beneficial and balanced relationship continued until the early 19th century. A hunter's instincts. Under the pretext of wanting to share his love of nature and the great outdoors with Galeb, Jean-Baptiste invited him to go to the Mauricie region to meet an old acquaintance of his. the explorer Toussaint Charbonneau. The gangrel chose to establish his den in the heart of the forest and lived like an animal. Despite his sire's instructions, Caleb had difficulty finding Charbonneau. After a physical encounter, the trapper understood why Tavernier had sent him this venture, so he attempted to share his connection to the animal world with him, as he had done with his sire before him. While Caleb was not interested in his ability to communicate with animals, his talent at tracking prey seemed more worthy of a kindred. It even proved to be necessary in the midst of this forest for a palate as refined as his, which was not to be satisfied with just any kind of blood. With practice, Caleb was able to track down his prey on his own. Charbonneau even trained him how to differentiate the essence of a mortal from that of a kindred, or even from that of a lupine. The onset of the winter season forced the men to part ways, Charbonneau heading back to his Pacific, Bazore returning to civilization with a new skill. Though he would never reveal this to his sire, he was thankful to him for having given him this opportunity. Settling down in Boston. In 1806, with the Napoleonic Wars tearing Europe apart, Caleb met James Underwood, who, through the Sugar Trust, controlled the refined sugar trade. With the United States under an embargo, Underwood's business was failing. Caleb mustered all of his knowledge to organize a large-scale smuggling operation, amassing a small fortune in the process. Underwood and Bazore formed a close relationship. Beryl Underwood was born in 1807 and inherited the business from his father James when he died in 1833. Caleb knew Beryl and watched him grow up. The 26-year-old heir asked the man he viewed as his mentor to stay with him and help him, and Caleb agreed for several reasons. His respect for this business-minded mortal, whom he deemed worthy of his interest, his honor that urged him not to abandon the relationship he had with James, and the profits he could make. He felt that his future lay in the New World, and that it was better to settle there as soon as possible. It was with the agreement of his sire that he moved to Boston for good. Tavernier sensed that Caleb had made great progress, and it was clear that the student had surpassed the master. He felt a kind of pride in this. While keeping his distance, he remained in regular contact with his child, treating him as an equal. It was on Caleb's advice that he moved to South Africa and set up new diamond mines. Oh dear. The child. Beryl Underwood exceeded Caleb's expectations. He was more talented than his father, and the venture had something to do with it. But a vampire cannot become involved with a mortal over the long term without compromising their identity. Over the years, Beryl's doubts led him to question Caleb, who gave him a frank answer. He admitted his monstrous nature to him. This was far from repellent to Beryl, who became more determined and asked Caleb to give him the embrace. Caleb never thought of siring a child himself, so he put off the decision and did not accept until 1869. Beryl's embrace was quick. He immediately felt empowered. His ambition knew no bounds, and he sought to enrich himself by any means necessary. The Sugar Trust became the center of an international conglomerate that extended beyond the sugar trade. Beryl was involved in every plot, every betrayal. Caleb began to be suspicious of him, and he withdrew, which Beryl did not forgive him for. Executor. Over the course of the 20th century, seeing Beryl's unscrupulous behavior corrupting the kind to the environmental and health impacts of his business, Caleb distanced himself from the business. He felt he had created a monster, a threat to all kindred. Quentin King, the Prince of Boston, offered him the position of Executor of the Prince, which he accepted as a means of escape. Executor. King made one of his favorite tools, sending him to hunt down those who threatened the Boston Camarilla. After centuries of building a business empire, chasing opportunities, and eliminating competitors, Caleb derived satisfaction from the simple task of doing what he was told. He didn't count the kindred destroyed, the mortals killed, or the thin blood suppressed. He served his prince with a signature loyalty. When Beryl Underwood joined Quentin King's Primogenic Council, Caleb grew weary. The beckoning. In recent years, the elders started feeling an increasingly insistent urge to travel. Tavernier was one of the first to give in. Not having been warned, Caleb considered this a betrayal. However, he also felt the same need. He was almost ready to give in to it, but King's disappearance changed everything. Underwood asked Caleb to become the new Prince of Boston. He hoped to be able to manipulate Caleb to serve his own interests, but Caleb saw his child all too well and refused the poisoned gift. So it was Hazel Iverson who became the Prince of Boston. Quickly, she surprised everyone by proving to be much less manipulable than expected, which was a pleasant surprise to Caleb. He then decided to put himself at her service. Iverson was happy to have a renowned ally like him and accepted. One last wish. His interest in the Camarilla and his kind was renewed as this new prince seemed to hold her own and had great plans for the future. It was during the same period that Caleb heard about a young mortal who had just graduated from MIT and had gone to Silicon Valley He found a startup specializing in the blue economy. He inquired about her and finally met her. Finally, he won her trust and offered to make her his ghoul with the aim of embracing her in the near future. He hoped to make her the counterpart of Beryl's self-destructive drive. However, Hazel Iverson did not subscribe to the same policy as Quentin King and would not grant the right to sire so easily. She even saw it as a way to maintain control over her precious Caleb, who was forced to wait. Consumed by the beckoning, he could no longer bring himself to leave without having repaired what he considered to be his greatest mistake. Oh dear. Oh dear. That doesn't sound good. Oh, definitely not. Give me a moment, chat. We're going to take a small break. I appreciate your patience. I got something I got to go check on real quick. And I'll be right back. Take 5. Get up. Stretch. Get a drink of water. Use the restroom if you need to. If you have medications to take them. Other than that, I'll be back in about 5-ish minutes. Thanks. Ow.
Who's the superior mammal now?
My life just got a whole lot easier.
I'm thinking that was probably supposed to be an aside.
Debrief for Mirror Excursion 7C. Subject is Agent Hardy. Hardy spent approximately 3 hours in the mirror. It's the longest time on record. Can you describe your experience inside Agent Hardy? Agent Hardy is physically healthy. All tests have come back clean. Yet the speech issue has persisted for hours. Calm down, Agent. It could be psychosomatic, but the fact that this only occurred after returning from the mirror makes a paranatural explanation more likely. I recommend a battery of tests and a Class Orange quarantine.
Shit. Shit.
Isn't that about the appropriate reaction?
Pick it up? The murder weapon? Really?
Well, there's a bad day right there. Testing. We are broadcasting from the pyramid. Other. Only the director can wield the gun, sword, intentionally left blank. Your application will be processed.
He's not afraid of the fall. He's afraid of...
Shit. Can't let it see me.
It can't be real. Oh, but it looks pretty fucking real.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I don't know if it
Whoa,
is.
thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you very much.
For real?
Holy smokes.
I need the UV light.
I'm sorry, I don't have it. Thank you greatly. Oh my gosh. Someone just gave me a anonymous tip for $100.
Wait, what?
Somebody just tipped $100 anonymously.
Dang. That's awesome.
It is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I need to...
What if he exclusively listens to Smash Mouth? Wait for it. Cover bands.
Ugh. I disown him.
He's not looking so good today.
I've been fielding questions recently regarding HRAs. What are they for? Do you always need to wear them? And what's the deal with the Hedron resonance anyway? Fuck. Despite what you may have heard, HRAs are not monitoring devices. We're not tracking your movements or listening to your conversations while you're wearing them. We do that regardless whether or not you're wearing an HRA.
What about the top shelf?
What if it's the original Broadway cast recording of Cats?
At least that'd be ironic.
Building shifts occur at random and without warning.
Thank you very much. Wow, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Wow, thank you.
Don't worry, we're gonna get you out of here. Just hang on.
Don't! His fear is so strong. If I get near it...
It's no good. We're too heavy.
Shit. What about me?
Alex, are you sure?
Come out of that Russian roulette a winner and you're it.
Only the director can bind the service weapon and live, die. This is your ritual challenge. You must choose to be the chosen one.
Okay, but what if it's 3 unbroken hours of improvisational jazz flute?
That he listens to while writing scathing film reviews.
Yeah, and sipping a $50 Americano.
Stay!
Stay!
The fuck!
The fuck!
Away from her!
Away from him! perfect.
That guy's bad to the gnome.
Right? I heard he won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh God, please stop.
Oh
No
God,
problem.
please stop. Alright, chat, I'm back. Sorry about that. It was a little bit longer than expected. I was trying to figure out what some of the rest of my plans are, because it's actually a lot later than I realized, which I apologize for greatly. But we are at the beginning of Azori's story, and I think that's where we're going to end things right now. We're definitely going to get back to this, have no fear there. My streaming schedule's been a little bit odd lately, and I apologize for that, because things have been a little bit weird. Family in the hospital, so some of the breaks I had to take was just like an update on, so what's really going on, what do we have, what information do we have, what sort of, like, do we have any good news, bad news, what kind of news do we got, that sort of thing. So I apologize for some of the longer delays. But this is going to make a good stopping point as the very start of Azori, and I think that that things have been going really, really well. It looks like we have succeeded in almost all of the tasks that was actually put before us, which is actually surprising, considering how little XP you have at the beginning of the game to get things started with. So it's just something to kind of keep in mind. But I usually will do supernatural stuff on Sundays specifically. True Colors I literally did over the span of, like, all 5 episodes over the span of, like, 6 days. I'm not averse to doing the Masquerade here on, every day of the week if it came right down to it. But it might work a little bit better to do it on the weekends. But let me know what you would prefer. I know people want to see more of it, for sure. This game is amazing. It's really good. The graphics are a little they're good. The story seems really cool. I like it. I like the 5th edition mechanics being incorporated into it. I like the way everything is confined, and I love the different viewpoints for the characters, which is very interesting. I think it's actually pretty neat, pretty nifty. But yeah, we're going to call this here. If you haven't hit the follow button, please do. You could follow me on my Discord. Feel free to come in and say hello. Keep having a conversation. Follow me on Twitter if you like, but I don't do as much on Twitter as I used to, mostly because I've had so much going on, and I have not played catch up in a while. Discord works better. But yeah, we're gonna go raid a friend. Let's go see who's on. But yes, do let me know what day works best for continuing this story. I work a very weird schedule. It's not the best schedule, but it is what it is, unless I want to change jobs, which right now I don't, at least not right off. Alright, let's see, who do I have available to go raid right now. Looks like it's gonna be Slow Guy, who's doing Elder Scrolls 3. Yeah. Go say hello to Slow Guy, give him a follow. Weekends? Okay, yeah, Monday through Friday, I definitely work Monday through Friday myself. My schedule takes me to working 10:30 in the morning to 7-ish p.m. Mountain. So I could stream then. The weekend, I think, is still going to be the better option for this one, because this is not a game that we could do in short bursts, like some of the other games I played. This one's going to be definitely more of a push a few hours in, for sure. I usually like to stream for about 2.5, 3 hours, sometimes 4. Lately, it's been closer to 5. But, yeah. Ooh. I've worked that shift. It's a fun one. But I've done it. I've also worked a shift that was 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That was a fun one. It was only 3 days a week, because that would be 36, and then I did a 4-hour shift to make it up to 40. But I've done the 6 to 6, and my body's never gotten over it. I still get hungry every night at 11, even though it's been years since that was my actual lunchtime. But yeah, we'll do this on the weekend. Probably Saturday, Sunday, or just Sunday. We'll see. I'm usually doing Raft on Sundays with some friends, but it's I don't want to misquote myself here. I enjoy Raft, but streaming it has been problematic for two reasons. My stream has been acting wonky, and I'm not having quite as much fun as they are with it. But it's been really, really seriously wonky. And Raft is a game that literally eats my attention up. So while I'm playing Raft, I can't see chat. And I missed messages, and I missed people talking, and I literally missed everybody telling me, hey, by the way, your stream is going bad. Hey, by the way, you disappeared. Hey, by the way, your camera cut out. I missed all those messages, and I'm like, that's why before I started the day, was literally streaming for like an hour of, what can I do to fix this? What did I do wrong? Where did my settings go blowing up? I figured it out, so now we're doing this. So it'll probably be Sundays, but I'm not averse to doing Saturday, Sunday, because I enjoy doing stuff on the weekends. But with people in the hospital, my time with family has also been a little bit limited. So, again, we'll see. But let me know. Hit that follow button if you haven't. Follow me on Discord because it's the easiest and best way to get a hold of me. It's also the best place to have conversations with me because I will answer you pretty quick. Other than that, we're going to go raid Slow Guy. So let's go do that. Let's go do that now. Right now. Give him a follow. Give him a hello. Hang out for a bit. He's doing Morrowind right now. He also likes to do speed runs of like Metroid and things like that. It's pretty cool. I like him. He's one of the people that kind of helped me get started back when I started streaming. So, you know, he's definitely cool. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great night. But hang out. Hang out for a minute. And at least say hello to Slow. Hang out for a few minutes. If you like him, keep hanging out. If you don't, I think I'll be too offended. Alright. Hit this raid button. I'm running a little slow today, because I didn't have what I needed open. It happens. But I'm glad we had fun. I'm glad we enjoyed it. I need to go back and make some clips, for sure. If you guys want to, make clips while I'm playing. Make the clips. I like the clips. Alright. Let's go raid slow. Alright. Well. You guys have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time for sure. You guys all take care.